fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and pass the torch over to Snow Bear and company, and y'all can take it from there. So good luck, Snow Bear, and y'all have fun.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm Snow Bear. Join with me are my co-commentators, Ergote and Trickums.
What's up?
Hello, everyone.
Well, welcome. So this is Pokemon Crystal. It's an item randomizer, and then on top of that item randomizer, we have also changed where these warps are going on to. We have a nice small tracker that was made. Shout outs to all the people who've been doing these, so very hyped about it. This is still kind of sort of beta, but we're almost done with it. So we've gotten most of the bugs out, so it's been a lot of fun to do these actually. Trickums, you want to explain a little bit more about this?
Yeah, so as Snowbear's already mentioned, so we've taken Crystal, we've randomized it with Frozen Wolves, but we're also going to throw item randomization on there as well. So first off, we're going to be choosing our settings. So we do have presets. The speed choice version of this comes through with various different presets for what you want to do. We're using an item randomizer preset, so that will give us access to normally kind of good wilds, usually kind of would remove in normal situation kind of like rocket segments for other things like bingos, but what we do here, we kind of give ourselves some options, which includes for the updated version we have here the ability to bike indoors, in order to kind of give ourselves what we'll say better marks. I think Ergo, you can kind of explain what the difference of those are, but for some of these like here, it's just kind of those like quality of life things, like being able to, say on here, being able to start with a bike rather than having to find Goldenrod. Finding that bike shop just makes things a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah, as Trickum said, the good early march is something that's pretty important for these, as like you get the early repels and stuff, but especially for Warp Randos, we keep the Cherry Grove Mart as like normal.
Yeah, that will be the one original warp, as well as Elm's Lab, because we need to start the game at least, and Mum's House. Other than that, all the warps are going to be random. Shout outs to the donation incentive to have the trainer name as Chris. I believe we have the other incentive to name the Pokemon. That will come up later. What you can also do is, if you want to have a little discussion or little argument in chat, there is an incentive to turn off the bike and surf music for $20. I believe that will be going on. So if it does get turned on, there is off. There will be the option to turn it back on again, so you can have a little fight against that. But I think for now, I think we're ready to go. So Snowbear, you want to kick us off?
I am ready to go. All right, let's get... Oh, to turn it on. Perfect. Well, we're starting with it on then. All right, I'm ready to go, and I guess 30 seconds. I guess I'll count it off, and we'll start it then.
Yeah, count yourself.
3, 2, 1, and we'll start. Go.
Good luck, buddy.
Good luck.
Yeah,
so first thing you'll
do.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
go on.
You go ahead.
No, you'll notice that I turned it on to night. And Uro, can you talk about a little bit about why I turned it to night first? And I'll be sending it also to Saturday morning, or Saturday as well.
Yeah, so nighttime is particular for these because there's higher level encounters in Victory Road and Mount Silver specifically. And those are the highest level of wild Pokemon in the randomizer. So you want to turn it to night. Saturday is a bit more niche situation, but you can actually get 3 items in bug catching contest when you find the actual like entrance house, gatehouse, whatever. If you have a bug catching day set by just starting the contest.
So this is already a great start.
All you can eat buffet.
So normally I just choose the left Pokemon. However, neither of these have speed.
Oh boy. Also, for some viewers who might just see a blur, don't be fooled. One of the things in the speed choice is we have instant text, so that's why you're seeing everything go a million miles an hour. So if there is anything you do want us to repeat on, just let us know.
Yeah. So this is gonna be a much scarier route from the very. Oh, thank goodness we have a repel. We have a repel, guys. We have the early repel and no encounters. I'm saved.
Yeah, I think you're
I am gonna be
a
saving
few
up.
seconds ahead, so yeah,
you're
we're
like
grabbing those.
ahead of us.
Ugh.
Yeah,
that is
only
a
repel
clutch repel though.
with Omanite, definitely good thing. Like, you can definitely die and go say hi to mom again if you like.
Here we see
Can't run
everybody
away.
the first of many saves until we can kind of go on to what the mindset's going through. As Snowbear's kind of clear this first little section of doing a bit of a shopping and warp. So there's really kind of, when it comes to the randomizers, depending on what you're doing, kind of 2 or 3 stages. First off, what we're going to be looking to do here is kind of get an idea of where these warps are going and where our kind of first plan of action is going to be. Second of all is kind of looking to get a main. So what we are going to be using for the rest of the run. Hopefully you kind of find one of those high level areas. So like Gate mentioned earlier, something like Victory Road, Mount Silver, something beefy, something that's going to pack a punch and not be as flimsy when it gets to the end goal, which is red. So the end goal of this is to get all those 16 badges, find Oak Slab, and then find red, and then beat red. So we need something for that fight. Third part is kind of optional, but is very much welcomed, is finding both parts for Fly. Now the Storm badge is going to be required. As I mentioned, we need those 16 badges. But finding the Fly HM is that second point. So being able to easily move around the world rather than having to go 10 steps between just between Cherry Grove and Violet, for example, if you need it.
Yeah, so one of the small things that just happened as they were doing is that I got warped to Route 31, so I already got my call from Mom.
Yeah, one of those ones. Yeah, you get it from the top rather than just halfway up the route as you after you've normally face the first kind of mandatory trainer. I say mandatory in these. May never fight him.
Yeah.
There are no mandatory trainers, basically.
How am I supposed
There are a few, but
yeah.
Now, a couple of
I'm trying to be
interesting
very
points.
careful not to hit these optionals, especially early on. Some of these are very notorious, but one of the small things you might notice a couple times is I've already gone some repel text. This is the most recent version where we have when your repel runs out, it'll ask you if you want to do it again, and so that is a very nice thing added in because you're going to be running through repels. So I've been saying no because I'm trying to conserve the repels, but it's always very nice to have.
and that's a good pickup. HMO2 Fly.
That is so. As I mentioned, that's half of what I've just been mentioning. So, but yeah, as Snowbear's just mentioned, the repels are definitely something that we're going to be using because we're going to be trying to avoid fights as much as possible because hey, we want to go fast. But right now we don't have the money to be able to stock up. Because we really want to kind of be able to get max repels because, of course, repels only last for 100 steps, so they're going to be kind of like you can see the difference, the timing between one repel to the other. As we pick up more and more items and we find like the bigger stores that are going to be able to sell these super and max repels, then we're going to be wanting a large stock of those just to make sure that we're just cruising between warps and trying to find all these badges and all these items that are going to be required.
Yeah, so this has so far been a very linear seed where I have had only one place to get out to. There's been a bunch of dead ends.
Another thing that's probably gonna be on the table soon is actually one of the newest additions is guaranteed catch to the speed choice to like there's so many things in Warp Randos you can end up in high level area and just be able to throw one ball before you wipe. So we've introduced a mechanic to just guarantee every catch, essentially.
That's gonna be needed. I'm right now in the level 30 place, and I've got a poor level 5, and that's it. Yeah, so this is basically a catch main to run away with because it's honestly it's not even fast enough.
Slowbro isn't a great choice for that.
No, it's not a great choice, but
so here we see, as we see the names. So shout out to one of the other incentives. So for all of our Pokemon, they're going to be named Dace. So thank you very much for whoever donated for that. So it'd be great trying to
that
just
could also be changed until if you would like to donate. We'll probably keep that open until I find an actual main.
And can I actually sneak in a little bit because
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Well, because I don't know if it was this donation coming in a little bit after we got everything set up. But 3 donations actually. Giganaut donating $20, saying not sure where to put my donation toward a specific incentive. This should go to turn off bike and surf music.
Oh,
Then
thank you. My ears will save me. Well, thank you very much.
And Dobby Digital with $25 on behalf of your D&D crew. Best of luck, Snow Bear, and have fun. Here's hoping for a good starter. Now here's where it might have been me not seeing this in time, so in parentheses, please put donation to character name being Ribaro for the Pokemon run. So,
oh, okay. So the next one I catch, I will definitely be in. Also, well, it looks like we'll start doing that. Thank you so much, Dobby. It's amazing. Actually, we have a session even tomorrow, so I am looking forward to that. So thank you so much.
And then
There
one
is
last, one last donation, $50 from Ricky J that just says, "Let's go, Snow Bear."
Thank you so much, everyone. Oh boy.
So another notable thing about this, we actually use 50% level increase. So finding a main is actually pretty important early on. You don't wanna end up with level 32 Lapras in this case. You definitely wanna have something in the 50s.
Now, just
Pretty
a note
soon.
on top of that for what Ergo says. So the wilds are going to be the same level, but the trainers will go up again. So yeah, we could find a lovely level 50 in Mount Silver, but yeah, Reds is going to be having hundreds. They're all going to be hundreds. So have fun. We're all going to have fun with the final battle here. Finding the Pokegear, very nice.
They all also are guaranteed to be fully evolved, which is more likely to be stronger Pokemon. Fully evolved. So anything with that would be level 50 or above will be fully evolved in this case. So we won't have lots of babies to fight for that much longer.
Ignore the trees. The people are trees here. Again, there are a couple of let's say visual alterations we may come across. So I think just because we haven't cleared the Sudowoodo tree, I think it's just the way that the data's being held is what causes that.
That's exactly right.
We do have a similar one, which if you've ever seen the kind of other kind of normal full item randomizers, might have come across in Olivine. If you don't trigger, we might see it. So do you know what? I'll keep that one in the pocket for now, just in case.
Hopefully, yeah.
The edge case. We have to see
this will be very good. This is a good time to get some stuff in while I'm doing some low-level battling.
We should probably go over what exactly is randomized.
Please do.
yeah. I'll let you take that, Ergo.
Yeah. So this is what we call full item randomizer. Crazy with hidden items is the game mode, I guess. Although there's been so many names down the road that I'm confused myself. But
that's
essentially
the most recent one. Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, all the ground items are randomized. All the hidden items are randomized. NPC given items except phone call and Pokemon checks. And berry trees. What else?
No bug catching.
Oh right. Yeah,
bug
bug catching because that's just stupid.
There are a couple random ones that weren't ever added in. Partly because there was even one of them that's my favorite one. Is there's a guy outside of Diglett's cave that gives you an item once you have 16 badges, and when we initially had these settings, we didn't even know that guy actually gave an item at all.
Yeah, map card is also excluded for some reason.
I think that was just more, nobody wanted to do that.
Nobody wanted to take the trek around Cherry Grove.
Yeah, so those are the most things. That's why you'll notice, also, those were Strat Tower warps that led to each other.
That's from the item randomizer.
When you grab the item, the berry trees are cut down. It's always this is one of the most visceral game changes, which is actually kind of amusing, but
You're probably also gonna notice that map randomizer is actually gonna remove few ledges here and there just to prevent soft locks, and also light up all the caves, just for ease of navigating, and not requiring any flash logic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the only thing is because of it. Yeah, because with the second gen, it's the only one where it gives you just complete darkness. So, yeah, I think when you warp into a cave, it will tell you which cave you're in, but you have no idea. So, a couple of quality of life things that we'll be able to put on is when you are generating the seed, there's a various amount of different options you have. But yeah, having the lit caves is definitely a huge bonus. Some of us are used to it from our devilish ways of the usual for light and randomizers of like going through like Dark Cave or Whirl Islands, for example. But yeah, knowing where you are initially, yeah, that helps.
Yeah, so one of the small things you probably didn't catch is that I initially I've been sometimes marking these as dead ends. There was a surf transition one, and it was actually really funny because I got back-to-back that surf transition, so I had to go quickly change those marks from something I was to remember later to. Don't even bother, it just warps to itself. And so we finally have the store. I have upgraded some of these items, but we still are kind of pretty poor, honestly. So this store luckily sells super repels. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything that sells for super good money, so I'm gonna end up having
picked up any TMs yet?
Nope. I have fly.
Wow.
So that's really poor.
Yeah, so I'm super repels are really nice. I'm looking for max repels, but yeah, this has been a very straightforward seed in terms of, well, there's really not many options I can do.
Yeah, early on you are most of the time gonna end up selling like full restores and max elixirs, even though you don't really wanna, but the repels are just way too important.
Well, you say about being on
my
linear,
movement
you
gets
have
a little
just...
messed up as I'm trying to move with one hand and still try to mark on the other, because this map tracker, this version is done by Monta Bank, so shout out to him, but this is based off of Seki, so shout out to him, because honestly this would not been even possible without them, and because honestly we've tried it before, and without these ones it's been really amazing.
Yeah, the Seki tracker, and like you may have seen these in if you're like a connoisseur of other kind of randomizers like Emerald, Heart Gold. I believe, yeah, they've done the Gen 3 version, so you may have seen these come up before. But yeah, they're so helpful. Oh, they're just chef's kiss.
People used to use spreadsheets, and that's just like. Yeah.
I remember the days. I remember the days of the spreadsheet.
I couldn't even make that work, and this fight might be a little bit harder than I thought it was. Luckily, it's only using. This is a shuckle, so its attack is much lower, but this has been a little bit thing. This is
that's about as much damage as I've seen Shuckle do ever. Using Super
yeah, so Super Fang can kill you. If you're only at 1 HP though, so that fight was a lot.
Oh yeah, Super Fang rounds up, right?
Yes. So that was much harder of a fight than I honestly wish that would have been. But
Oh yo, just realized I hit 1500. Let's go.
Well, yes. So there's lots of things to do.
So this what you see on the screen. Actually, Snowbear's dodging it for now. I might go back to it. So just seeing the bottom of Ruins of Alph. So like we mentioned earlier, this is one of those points where there's a little bit of quality of life, but also soft lock prevention, where there will be some gaps or some additions. If we do get to Blackthorn, we might be able to show just kind of a
so this one, these ledges have been opened up because these were one-way ledges. So in order to be able to really use them, we kind of cut away those ledges.
And punished for not using repels. As usual.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, weirdly enough, yeah, we're coming, just over 15 minutes. We have fly. We have not much else.
Yeah,
It is.
fly
Badges.
and
Where are
Poké
these
Gear.
badges?
Where are the items? This is a whole.
Where is the everything?
No main either, really. So.
Well,
that's-
let's see. Do I? Oh boy. I've passed
You know,
a bunch of
Snowbird, you
items
don't
that I
need
could
to do
have
the
done.
puzzle.
Yeah, so luckily we've had it where the puzzles are already open,
Mhm.
so we don't have to suffice you guys to suffer through those puzzles. But yeah. Alright,
Oh my god, a TM, they exist.
Yeah, so I still haven't found any high-level main places, so this is very, very tentative right now.
What was that warp? That was underground entrance to underground entrance.
Okay, well, we got.
Oh, this is the place. We've got to show it.
Oh, okay.
So as I mentioned earlier, there is a visual
bug, but it's not displayed there, but the no. So as long as I don't trigger a certain cutscene, we can keep some nice sprites. Right, I'll go show it a little bit. There are some people in the water that you wouldn't expect to be there. And it looks like I've been running out of my repels, so we'll be there. We'll be back there shortly.
Oh yeah, I think you run out of the normal ones.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So this is gonna be this is a very high level place, and
Have you been ambushed?
no, this is a higher level place,
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm gonna be suffering because even if I catch one of the higher level mains, I'm not gonna be able to repel it because repels only work if you're higher level. If you are the same level, you still can get encounters.
Yep.
The
Because games don't have
Oh my
that
god, did I
high
just
of an
get
encounter
clamped?
rate, but
Did I? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I can't even run because I
You
got
get
clamped.
clamped by a quillfish.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so this is one of those moves that is great for when you do like a catch 'em all, for example, but you get hit by them, it's not good. So moves like clamp, wrap, fire spin, yeah, they don't
Oh, my
let you
favorite
run
is
from
mean
level.
look. You just can't run.
Yes, it's always always a good one.
yeah, with
So-
guaranteed catch, you're just like better off just catching higher level stuff. Hoping you can at least rebel 1 or 2 slots, since the
Found some
encounter
progress,
slots are
guys.
different levels.
We have found one of the 16
Eight
badges.
All right,
of the
one
most
down,
useless
15 to
ones.
go, ladies and gents.
So, if you're wondering about the levels for this, the levels in this area go from 42 to 46. I was trying to run away as much as I could, but being clamped really prevents that, and honestly, Lapras and Slowbro are both slow Pokemon, so being able to run is sometimes difficult.
Not
Luckily,
too great
Quillfish is
of
relatively
main
quickly.
choices on this room, it seems.
Yeah, I'm not particularly enthused. There was Blastoise, but it was not. The thing is that I could make that work, but it's a little on the lower level for this.
Quillfish does have surprisingly high stats, but it's still not a good Pokemon.
Well, this wasn't where I wanted to go to, but I'm just gonna accept it.
Ooh,
Alright.
that's a
Ooh.
good badge.
Rare candies are nice. So that guy we just passed there. So the triggers with him are a little bit bizarre. So he will talk to you. He's supposed to talk to you. If lets you beat Faulkner's gym and get the Pokemon egg in there. But sometimes he's there and visible. Sometimes he's invisible and will stop you. I don't think anyone's ever figured out what specifically the triggers for, but it is one of those interesting cases here. We did alter, like, for example, this guy would kick me up normally because I'm going in from the wrong side and haven't even beaten Faulkner yet, so...
Just like trying to work out what you're talking about, because again, we got like a 5-10 second delay.
Oh, I apologize.
Nah, I realised who it was you were about, but yeah, so normally the NPC that Snowbear just passed, just on the right hand side there. Ooh, hello. Is it any good?
I have an Aeroblast TM, so it's workable. It is very much workable. It is. It looks like we may be able to close it off with this. This is a level 60, and it's very much workable. It's not my absolute preference, but it has got at least something good enough, and we'll see what else it has. Because it'll.
Jesus.
I mean, okay, at least it has. All right, well, it's gonna need some moveset.
That doesn't sound good.
It's gonna need some moveset alteration.
Oh god. I mean, Mach Punch, Iron Tail, Aeroblast, that's not bad. And then you got to sing to.
Yeah, Mach Punch is probably better than. Well, Iron Tail's not great, but I want to keep singing because that's going to be useful for the final one. But honestly,
100%,
I can't justify it right now. Well, Giga Drain is normally a good move, but we'll do it. Yeah, so now part of this is actually grabbing these items and these people. Like this guy I just talked to some guy named Arthur. He's usually there only on Thursdays. But because of we're enabled the day items, we have enabled that more.
Yeah, so this would that NPC that Snowbear just talked to, that is exclusive. Well, not exclusive to this mode, but is one of the things of this mode. So, as we mentioned earlier, this is we're using the Crazy with Hidden Items preset. So there are various different, say, difficulties that you can play with. Anything from just like a normal, just randomizer. So you may be able to. You may have seen, for example, like the key item randomizer if you're a fan of GDQ, where it's just between gym leaders and the normal key items. With like anything up to like maximum level, nightmare level, it does include those weak siblings. If you play on, we always kind of say like the entry level. If you're really kind of getting into like a full item randomizer, is what we call extreme. But extreme doesn't have those weak siblings, but we do have it in this particular preset. So again, if you're just getting into these, you may not see them initially. So yeah, we're just plowing along.
Trying to see if I can find something a little bit better.
Yeah.
These are a little bit lower level, but I was trying to see if I could find something, but I'm not really finding anything I'm too in love with. One of the things with Pokemon. So I just try to figure things out with that. But sometimes with Pokemon, there's two different ways of attacking. There's either special or a physical. And right now I have a physical attacker, but there are a lot more ways to mess with your physical attack than there are special. And it looks like I'm having to go backtrack. Fun times already.
Special attackers are also nice because you get much more super effective hits off, and that's especially important when things are so high level.
The other thing is that a lot of times special attacks target the weaker defenses for many of these. Mm-hmm. So you end up getting better stuff than just physical. So you'll see me at this point going to backtrack because I got to a point where none of the warps, as far as I could tell, really lead anywhere, and I was not able to move the squirt ball. So, but we will be able to see one of those lovely sprites now that I'm back, and I can show off what Trickums was talking about. That I was a little bit there before. So you'll see there's this red-headed guy who's just kind of standing out there.
But this is just while Snowbear reaches where we're getting to there. This is what we were mentioning about like the kind of points of wanting to get Fly rather than having to backtrack all those different screens. Then yeah, the Fly makes things much more accessible. So as you saw there, the swimmer. Well, I say swimmer. With the red hair, that is normally your rival sprite. But he's in the water. He's just going for a swim. And he brings a few of his friends with him, which you also see if we do get the ability to surf before having to trigger that cutscene. There are a couple more that do end up like that. Again, it's to do with the
It's to do with the
The
memory
holding.
locking because
Yeah, that's it.
it's loaded in like that because you trigger the cutscene and then so it's a little bit out of the sight. But basically, because the game only has so much memory. This is remember a Game Boy Color game, so it's already running with very low memory left. So yeah, that was one of those things. Oh, and there's this room here. Very good. I guess I can go back. Alright, well, I have a loop around. Oh, whoops, I forgot to save, but I'll just go loop back around to the same place that I just got. So yeah, so I have some loops going back and forth at this point.
Yeah, this is actually pretty nice in some ways that it is this linear. Like, you're not gonna miss much when you can finish locations off and just go back around and.
Yeah, so one of the things is that you guys have seen I've jumped ledges, so you might be wondering like, well, how is it? Can you get soft locked? And the answer is actually no, because the way it takes track of that is it counts all those ledges sort of as dead ends, really. And even anything that requires more than just walking is actually considered a dead end in terms of logic of the warps. So it's actually kind of more interesting that it's like that. So you can you'll see me sometimes jumping ledges to get out of these chains a little bit easier.
Yeah, this is tested enough that there shouldn't be any soft locks, even like from the lack of testing or anything. Knock on wood,
so,
but you know.
I mean, it's got a lot. Unfortunately, I've been at the bottom end of it, and I don't have any escape ropes to easily get out as much, but yeah.
Oh yeah, escape ropes are another item that can save so much time early on. You're gonna find a dig.
Yeah, that'd be
You're
nice.
gonna find a dig TM somewhere. It's in the pool, but I mean, it can be late, so you never know. You actually do need one escape rope to open up the escape rope chamber in Ruins of Alph.
Yeah, in terms of like when it comes to like the logic, like in the small space of time, I think the three of us are kind of like been. I mean, Snowberry especially, like me when I get the time, because running the different time zones when we want to race can be a little tricky. But I think we've kind of done all we can to try and break this game and break everything in the development.
Oh,
but,
absolutely.
Yeah, I just while we have like some moments, I want to just give like a shout out to like IFAT Rain, Coadix, Vicenda. Just the thing is, there's too many people.
Especially who even
ERC,
did
yeah.
Yeah, all
just
the guys
everyone who kind of brings everything together. So IFAT Rain really kind of getting the warp randomizer in check. ERC and Quadix just in terms of the speed choice, just all the kind of different coding. Yeah, Quadix especially with the item randomizer program, just everything coming together. Just bring it to this one package. Like just give a massive shout out to them initially.
Because I triggered the cutscene. Oh, that's an escape. My bag's already full? How many bad items do I Oh my goodness.
Is your bag full?
I didn't think my bag would be full this early on. But I did trigger that cutscene with the rival, so now everything else would be back to normal, unfortunately. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So.
Yes, Nate. We had deep conversation. We had a conversation beforehand. So I don't know if you see Stober, but Nate's in the chat just saying the only thing I remember that breaks Trickham is if we don't battle Clefra and make it faint.
Yeah, that's lore. That's deep lore.
That is deep lore in our
lore.
community. If we do come across one, I will explain for people who may or may not be confused.
And some of the things is you'll see that these trainer names probably aren't named what you would think they are, and that's because I have sort of trainer list names that are randomized. They should, so it's part of the fun with these. Everyone's got sort of their own little trainer name stuff, but you'll see that all sorts of them I just, for example, just beat myself, but yeah, they're all sorts of fun names. Oh gosh.
It's something we like to, yeah, because it's something we kind of give back. Because one of the things we have, like in terms of the Crystal Randomizer, we finally have just completed we have do like a bingo tournaments, and there's all like different various things we do. So just in terms of people that are in the kind of randomizer community, we have like kind of add their names to the kind of like general, like the kind of common files we have. So hey, we put you in the game, just like you find yourself on the ROM, try and see where you are. Just a little bit of a fun fact.
Yeah, so the way it's kind of interesting because the way it does it is that the trader classes are replaced with the ones of the same character length as what you're doing, but the names of the people aren't. It's actually led to sometimes a bug with the bug catching contest when it exceeds the buffer, but I think that's about the only thing that actually crashes from name buffering. There are some restrictions to the names that we could have. For example, we tend to avoid numbers, although specifically the number that breaks everything is 9. I don't know enough about that. I'm sure people who code could tell you why the number 9 is bad for this, but these were all done in assembly, and oh my gosh. Should have had donation sense of
the best music in the game.
I don't know. Battle Tower is better.
No,
that's
no,
rare
you know
music.
What? No, I will give you National Park.
Okay, that's
Oh
fair.
my god.
Because that's also something you never used to hear, because bike music.
Oh my gosh. So as we're talking about this, I'm going against... There's a dreaded person on the screen.
Haha.
Oh, you can do Morty.
Those are the curse words. If you guys want to explain a little bit of the story behind that, because I think that's always a fun one to
All
talk
right, okay.
about.
So we've referred to a few things. I think it's worth kind of bringing them out. There are, in terms of, especially since we've been doing the item, Snowbird Gomes across Rival 3. There's a few foibles and a few kind of memes that have come across the community. Snowbird, for example, is a staunch hater of Morty. Just for the fact that because it takes so long to get through Morty and the amount of fights you have to do to get
it's
through
not
to
even
it.
that too.
Just the variance of getting something important versus not get something important. Do you know what? Let's stay quiet just for funsies. Let's figure out Romers. God, I feel like I'm in a bingo tournament again.
I only know the last one. And the last one I can tell you for sure is a Doug Trio.
No clue about
Which
any of
I believe
those.
it's a Doug Trio. Honestly, I don't even know it much. But hopefully that's a quick thing of the game. Who's paying attention? But part of the reason I hate Morty was okay. So we were doing item rando. There was one time I discovered that you could get into Tin Tower without actually beating Morty, because normally there's a guy who's there and there's a sage who blocks you from doing from going in there until you have the clear bell and being Morty. However, there's a little loophole in that you don't actually have to beat Morty under one certain circumstance, and it took me forever to figure that out because I just did it accidentally. And that circumstance is if you actually complete the Radio Tower, and you save the director and everything.
Hive badge in a cutlock area, very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So part of the funny thing is that it's sort of like I wanted to start avoiding it as much as I can, and so I kind of made a meme of that, and it's kind of grown from there. But a lot of the times you're not able to dodge them out because it ends up being that you just don't have the badges or you don't have the items to complete that.
Yeah. Obviously not relevant for Warp Randos, but
Yeah, no. His gym though is a little bit of me is definitely something interesting.
Yeah.
Part of it is also so since we have this bike indoors, you're like, wait a second, how are you biking indoors? I mean, why is Oak not telling you
Yeah,
it's not the time and place.
We finally ignored the old man and decided that we're old enough and we're wise enough and dumb. Well, why I say wise enough? We're dumb enough to make our own decisions and to skirt everywhere. So yeah, we decided we wanted to include the bike indoors. So yeah, just makes us be able
get
to
a few concussions on the way and all that.
Oh, I'm notorious for my bad movement. You're only going to see it worse as I'm trying to do two things at once, and my brain does not
Speaking of
compute
Morty's Gym, I know there's a couple of clips of your movements in there, especially at the start.
Yeah, so Morty's Gym also has the part where it has the invisible tile, like an invisible path, and with the bike's a little bit trickier movement. So just you'll be able to watch me suffer a little bit as we do that. It's not a hard path, but it takes some practice to get it done properly.
First try every time.
You just aeroblasted Paris, you monster.
Talk about an overkill. I mean,
look, there is no such thing as overkill. It's only killed just enough. Also, I believe it's fainting at this point.
I mean, if you aeroblast it, come on.
Okay, sweet. I can actually sell some things and get. Well, I need more escape ropes, to the very least. And oh my gosh, that's a lot of. I'm finally having money at this point, although I'd like to be able to buy some better repels, but I'm not going to be able to buy some better ones for a while, it seems.
It's fine, you're going to find Celadon's store in like 5 minutes.
Probably.
But
I mean,
I
did find Indigo Plateau, where I could have gone max repels, and I just didn't have. I had already just spent my money there.
Yeah, I see you just got like the vitamins recently, but yeah, now coming up to we just passed the 38-minute point and 5 badges now. Couple of items.
One part of fly.
Got waterfall. Waterfall is just strange. There's like not as much use in this. Like
there's one.
There's
two, I guess.
One.
There's
there can be 3.
I've already found the Tojo Falls, but unfortunately I found the other end as well. So it sometimes can be useful to get the warps and the back ends to avoid stuff. But for the most part, yeah, it's just.
I think I've had to use it once in Whirl Islands to get that one warp.
Yeah, it's not very often where you have to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll see I'm sort of coloring things in, and that's just reminders for myself about, you know, when I'm jumping and doing places, where to go to proceed for the next place. You know, like what's still open and whatnot.
Yeah, it's one of the nice things we have in terms of the tracker, because as mentioned, because we can link the buildings and then kind of link it to even the different icons we've got here, so we can signify where the gym or where is, for example, Floria, who you need the plane badge for, who normally gives you the squirt bottle, those sort of things. But yeah, the kind of different customization we could do where we can, we can be able to add colors, numbers, and such. So just so we can like customize our own tracking. Just everything has kind of just the different developments here or there has just been like really helpful.
Finally, I can buy some max repels, although I can buy some max repels. I can't believe I'm actually keeping that Iron Tail TM.
I always forget that fusion art is actually.
There's only a few good bars that have these, but thank you again. I think we just got a raid. Pink Batman. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bringing to the party at 7. Welcome in.
Indeed.
Yeah,
welcome to the FFR Rando Marathon.
Yeah. I don't know if it's probably a good time to donate as I'm getting these brief things down.
Yeah, have you got any other donations to read out at all?
Yeah, we have one donation that came in from Classic Gamer 76 with $15, saying a little more towards those hidden stage names in the Mega Man 2 randomizer, which is going to be not the next Rando, that is going to be an Aria of Sorrow randomizer race, but it is actually the one following. So that's one of the incentives for that one, and that brings us up to $15 and not quite 15 cents, but close, So y'all are doing a great job on that, and all of this is going to support the Burned Children's Fund from the South Carolina firefighters and affiliated with the Medical University of South Carolina. So that is absolutely great charity. Anybody who wants to donate to it is more than welcome to. We'd appreciate any donations that y'all can give. It is going to a fantastic cause.
So back to that thing we said earlier about removing ledges and stuff. If you look at the Blackthorn map, you'll notice that little strip of land that connects the main city to the Dragon's Den entrance. That's one of the softlock prevention things. That's pretty nice.
We also kind of removed the ledge behind was it Santos there, who's
Santos.
That's one more of a convenience rather than necessity, but it's very much appreciated.
Yeah. Always remember to talk to Santos, guys.
Yeah, the one time that I still get plagued by it. What was it? I think it was like the 3rd or 4th race I did with you on this neighbor.
Oh,
but we did the co-op, and we both hit Blackthorn so early, and it turned out to be Storm Badge, and I was
we've forgotten.
Yeah,
I just forgot him last week, and then he had a point.
Is it bullying if I just took a very overleveled Pokemon and just
made a gym leader cry? Nah,
it's fine. I mean, all the bullying that Whitney gave everyone as a kid, come on, it's just fair play at this point.
It was never the Miltank.
It's never.
Well, it was the Miltank to the youngers.
It was the Clefairy to everybody else.
Yeah, Clefairy to the speedrunners, Miltank to everyone else. Yeah.
Did you guys know that Whitney's gym is shaped like a Clefairy?
But like we mentioned earlier, we did mention earlier, we want to avoid fights as much as possible, but especially the Johto leaders and a couple of the Kanto leaders, we will take on some of their gyms. Like we saw there, Whitney's gym is a very quick gym to do with a one poke fight, then a 2 poke fight, especially because just for those short fights, that's 2 items right there. Some of the Kanto leaders, most of the Kanto leaders at least, we're not going to do, not just because they're going to be higher leveled, but the majority of those only give 1 item. So it's just trying to balance that kind of effort versus rewards. Again, Whitney's low level, they're quick. We're just going to go through with them now.
Yeah, something to add to that discussion is with not having both parts of Fly, there's some things you don't want to leave behind if you can do them. I personally like to do every gym leader I can until I can actually fly, because backtracking can become a pain when you have 10 warps left or something.
Absolutely.
And you're on the one side of the map only one way out or something like that.
Yeah, there's been several things, there's been some items free. I don't really like to check the free items, but I'm trying to clear out all the warps. It's a little bit different. Sometimes I get very distracted about warp checking, and sometimes I don't. Although I feel so bad, because we have shoutouts to, for example, some people who play around like Jarvitz. His #1 rule, for example, is if you find the ice path, which I found now twice, is to finish it off. I've kind of broken that golden rule, and I'm probably going to suffer for that, but there's a lot of these places trying to figure out. You'll still see me save before jumping over ledges, because they are still, for example, one ways, but
yeah, saving is just for well, this is technically a speed run, I guess, so just for speed, because you might end up somewhere that you've already almost completed, and the way back is in this example, Snowbear can't go back through that warp, so if Cerulean is a bust, he might want to reset away the whole thing and get back.
Yeah, so there are some rules about where we let Fly and Storm Edge be. It cannot be behind progress items, but we have allowed it to be behind strong fights, so it's never it's never kind of hard and fast. There is, that's what we would say. For example, there's logic for it, but sometimes the logic is hard to follow because even though I got Storm Badge really early on, or not Storm Fly really early on, there was a lot of places where it could have been.
Yeah, I tend to just ignore Warp Rando Fly logic, to be honest. It's way too complicated already.
You'll find it at some point. Yeah.
So this is a little bit awkward because I would love to reset, but there was like, I already found, for example, a secret potion. Oh my gosh.
Stay there, please.
So like, for example, I'm doing this hardest quiz, which Claire here, one of the gym leaders, saying, how can you pass it? It's never been passed. There was an item there, so she's gonna give me an item. This one, it could have been Storm Badge, but the one that I'm gonna be picking up in just a second cannot be. Going back to the lighthouse, the top of the lighthouse there. Because I think because of the flags and stuff, I'm never fully sure. I know that there's the people out there, even though I'm very knowledgeable about a lot of it, I'm still, it still baffles me. Yeah, no, there's so much about this kind of thing.
Might I sneak in another donation?
Of course.
Alright, Bad News Nate for $20 that says Morty is never a scam. I repeat, Morty is never a scam. Thank you to everyone involved in this charity stream, and I really hope you all hit the 2K goal for the marathon. I think we can hit that 2K goal by the end of the night. What do y'all think?
Oh, I think so. This has been exciting. I mean, we already passed the base goal of 1,000 within the first few hours, so that was awesome. Thank you everyone who's donated as well. Thank you so much. And thank you, Nate, of course.
Yeah, give a shout out to Nate. He's one of the other
friend.
runners in the community. Yeah, massive shout out.
Definitely. Yeah. No, he's been amazing. And oh.
I hear ooze. What are we finding?
So this is Ilex Forest, which is a little bit weird. So there's a cut tree here we have removed. So I think logically with the map rando, because we run it through 3 different programs. One to randomize the Pokemon, one to randomize the map, and then just jumped over the ledge. And one to randomize the items. So the map doesn't take into account that cut tree is removed. However, the item random does. So it's kind of giving me like another way to get back out through warp. So that's another kind of escape way out. Also, I think I saved here, so I'm sort of stuck here regardless of what's going on. But the Squirt Bottle is really nice because we've already explored Violet and Ecruteak, so that would allow us to go between those two.
You may have an item.
Gonna quickly just escape rope out of here. Nice thing is that these indoor ones, and try to see if I can find another route through. But if not,
you forgot the hidden full heal.
Oh, I did? Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to go grab that. Thank you for letting me know.
Don't know if that is anything, but
that's
obviously
right by that tree.
You would never figure it
that
out.
one before too. Trickum's can attest to that. We were doing a co-op the other day, and he won't let me live that down because that was the last badge, and I totally botched it.
Something that happens way more often than you'd think is just forgetting some random hidden item somewhere, and then you're wondering where is that one item.
It was even a full heal. What?
What kind of rando? That is full heal in vanilla, right? Yeah.
I think so.
I believe so. Yeah.
I was about to fight someone I didn't need to fight. But anyways, yeah. So there's all sorts of things you can do, and it's really easy to forget the hidden items. I have been suffering that a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, we've done, hundreds of these by now. Like, we know where every item is off by heart, but sometimes you are just on an autopilot mode, and depending on if just something just throws you one thing, just even if you're just chatting, you're having a laugh, or you just come off a fight that's just tilted you, you are gonna maybe miss like one of those random items here or there. So it just kicks you when you realize what it is, or you go back and look at the log and you just face palm.
This is also why I have them here to make sure we can finish. Because there's been a couple times where it's in like a storm badge and I just totally missed it. They do have the log if worst comes to worst with these, but it shouldn't be necessary.
No way.
No.
Yeah. So
No,
this is,
boy, is it a log. Cap.
yeah, there's
I
a lot
haven't
of stuff.
I haven't actually looked through it. I don't can't spoil anything. I do have it open.
I have,
No,
but
but
I'm
it's a
saying
lot of
nothing.
fun. Honestly, these have just been a lot of fun. I think ever since we've done item rando since I think about 2018 was when the first key item rando was, because we had the tournament in 2019. That was a while back. I think I met some of the guys here. It was definitely an interesting tournament, but there's been a lot of good tournaments since. In fact, as Trickham said, there was a Cinco Bingo tournament that just finished earlier this was it just last week?
Yeah, literally last weekend we just finished. It's a Cinco Bingo tournament. So, we do those. I think last year we had a full item randomizer tournament. So, if you are interested again,
well, that wasn't even last year. That was earlier. That was in.
Oh no, started this year.
Yeah, it was.
That was.
Yeah.
I think that was May. Or no, it finished up in June. It was real quick.
Something like
around
that.
Easter.
Yeah, it was definitely early this year.
Speaking of which, I have the champion in the phone call right here.
Ooh.
Yeah, Ergo was the champion of that, so it's always good to have him around. So yeah, we definitely have a community. I guess it was formerly called Cinco Bingo community, but because we do more than just Cinco Bingos, it's now just the Crystal Randomizer community. So that one's definitely a good place to go to. Ooh, so this is an important place to have found, because this is where we go to fight Red. Because normally going to Mount Silver, you go to the left room, and that's Red's room. Or we have that directly warped to Red's room always. Oh.
You'll notice Snowbear save here because you can't go up this guy if you don't have 8 badges. So, not really a consideration here. But I prefer Charizard. What about trade?
That was not bad. I didn't see what items I got from the person, but the TMs are randomized, but none of them are really appealing. There is, but it does appear we have a.
Yeah.
I may want to go check out whatever's in that room to see if there was any good special Pokemon there, because those are up to level 53s you can go. But I think we'll just settle with this at the moment. Well, and there's the nice move deleter if I need to get that. So I'm gonna have to get 16 badges. So there are some places you definitely have to find, and that is one of them. So it does mean that there's not really a good way to get into that, because the way to get into that was through Route 27. Route 27. On the ledge. And I hope I didn't say it, but either way, that's not too bad.
You'll notice Snowbear pick up a water stone here. That's another requirement for opening one of the hidden chambers in Ruins of Alph. So you definitely want to grab that as soon as you get into Goldenrod Mart.
Yeah, I think I've sort of set on my main, but I always am sort of tempted with these higher level places, like, since it's sort of, my moveset could use some help here.
Yeah.
To say the very least.
It's not too bad right now, I'd say.
Oh, it's not too bad. No.
Yeah, it could be improved.
Decent enough.
Yeah.
Stab, headbutt, probably gonna
door,
get.
Actually, there was a gate door they removed, and partly it was removed for to get prevent soft locks, because that was like the one place it was like soft locking before. You'll see me sell full heals, and that's because I have these miracle berries, which are just straight up better. But
They're just attachable full heals. It's great.
they are. And because I'm running sort of low on max repels, I'm going to be buying some super repels. It could be set for the rest of the game with that, but I'd still like to find some. So yeah, this store is really interesting because we keep the elevators the same, but all the entrances are randomized, so it's kind of trying to figure out how to best use this.
Yeah, both of the marts here. So this is the Goldenrod mart, but there is also Celadon mart as well. They're both great as they just work as like little mini hubs. Various different warps. Again, all the shops you kind of need. TM shop, X item shop, which is going to become very handy later. And there's all the kind of other bits you need, like be able to get repels and escape ropes and stuff we mentioned earlier. Like always when you see one of the stores, always a good sign.
X items are something that's definitely important.
Yeah, I'm trying to go X item shopping right now.
You're eventually gonna have to fight the higher level Kanto gym leaders most of the time, and eventually Red, obviously, and you just can't. Most of the time, you can't just do it without X items.
Of course, I spend all my money and I find a max repel store. Of course, of course. That's how it is.
It's good to stack up on X items early, so you can defeat all the gyms faster you come across.
Ah, yes, Nate, you had that. All of those, plus also a slow brew.
Yes.
And that's cut HM, which is now usable.
Yeah, so that's one of the ways to traverse the world, which is going to be really nice, because there's a lot of items that are actually locked behind cut. The main ways to traverse the world are not, of course, biking around, but there's also swimming in the water with surf, which is important, but also cut, which is enabled by the hive badge, and cut HMO1.
Cut is also something that opens up one more access to places like Vermilion and Lake of Rage and all that, so you can actually get through stuff without having to go around.
Yeah.
Even connects Route 35, 36 to...
Yeah, you get
we've already been
extra item in Violet.
So
yeah.
So I've sort of
dojo skip?
No dojo skip today, sorry. That's a reference to in the item randomizer. We had a couple people who unfortunately forgot to go into the dojo in Saffron, and it ended up being the key item they needed to do it. And so there was a couple of people who lost, unfortunately, because of that. But speaking of Saffron,
again, it's the weird things that we remember. We just kind of just make stick.
Forget something once and never forget it again.
Yes. Oh, it happened to at least 3 people in the tournament, actually. No, I think only one person was not punished by that. The runner-up was not punished by that. Shout out to all the runners and people who've been around.
Moo.
Is that moo?
Ah,
But there's
no,
Actually,
I
I best explain because it seemed like I've just random mood. So, the house, for those that aren't quite acquainted to Crystal, that is normally the Moo Moo farmhouse. So normally where you'd have the sick mill tank that you'd have to heal with all like 7 berries. So just anything that, because I'm one of those ones that kind of does all the kind of reactions to different things like bears and things like that. Anything mill tank related, you just get a moo from me.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've found all sorts of different houses there. I think that was Bill's house I just got out of. Although I never remember it enough. You really only see it once Villa's cutscenes there, and oh my gosh, I've been doing so many things without a repel.
Oh, actually, probably best just to mention, we do have them on the tracker, and actually it's the first time I come across it. In this particular mode, we're not going to be doing the E4, so don't worry that we've kind of skipped past that. For us, our goal in this particular run is we're going to be getting the 16 badges and defeating Red. We may need to defeat Lance for an item or two, but the actual E4 members, we're not going to be doing the gauntlet for that.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite item here, the trash can. That's normally where you get the leftovers in in Celadon. For a longest time, that was never randomized. But after it got made into a hidden item, it got made for some shenanigans. So we were able to do that. And I think one of the more recent things, it was broken. But with these new, with the new stuff here, we've long patched that. But I also just got mugged here.
Yes. Yeah. Another time you see Snowbird save before jumping a ledge, just because he might end up somewhere that is not really good for.
It's been hard for me because there's some places I really want to go to and stick with, but then I'm like,
yeah,
well,
now I see you popping out of Azalea, I'm like,
Yeah, popping out of Azalea, I didn't want to do that. So I went and checked that one entrance on the left specifically because once I finish the Slowpoke quest, Rival 2 appears there. So I checked that place first because it could be something that could avoid one fight. Rival 2 is not a hard fight, it was just one place.
yeah, as we mentioned, we want to go fast. We want to be avoiding fights. So if we can get a peek and not have to trigger that, then so be it.
I should know which lighthouse that is, and it took me a while to figure out which floor it was. Yeah, so I'm just trying to find ways out. And I am finding definitely ways out. Although, because I did talk to Kurt, there is a rocket that was moved from here. We did have a change where he will eventually move on his own, but in this case we have him just moved because I talked to Kurt. He's just moved as he normally is, so we didn't have to even worry about that. For a while, that was actually one of the bugs. Is that if you didn't talk to Kurt first before doing that entrance might have been locked. But luckily, we've kind of fixed that and addressed it for all future ones.
Yeah, hence me talking about us breaking everything and figuring out.
Oh, there's all sorts of things we've broken.
I mean, especially like everything in its infancy. I just want to give another shout out to IFAT Rain in the chat. One of the Mega Med developer of this Warp Rando. Without this, we wouldn't have this. So yeah, massive thank you. Right, Azalea not proving too much by looks of things.
Nope. Still 2 hops down from here, though. Assume you're not gonna do Rival, even if you're not gonna end up anywhere good.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But we have found some ways back into other warps that we've been to. If I need to do that.
Ooh, Gold Rock.
And that's a good place. Route 34. You can get the Golden Rod, which is a huge hub.
This is also Vermilion, which is a nice place to explore as well. Also, now I think about it, I was trying to skip places. Yeah.
You've actually found both of the Kanto underground entrances.
Yeah, so that's really nice because that's
machine part.
Yeah, that's a nice one to find.
Yeah.
This one is a dead end. I'm definitely gonna probably skip out of this one, but it's always amusing when I'm marking things. It ends up going to a place that I've already marked. That's on the same map, so it's just like okay. You know, there's a lot of transitions. Oh no! Oh gosh. I should save now. because I just picked up an item that could be listed in the red scale. Oh.
Oh.
Or I could just end up back in here. Okay, thank you.
Looking forward to seeing where we're at.
Yeah,
Vermilion.
those kind of slopes are funny. Like, just jump on the ledges. You're gonna find your way back.
Yeah, so that's one of the nice things about the ledge jumps is that you're guaranteed to not get yourself stuck, and I think that was one of the hardest technical things I think to have is, and one of the things to get used to and adjusted. But in this case, it's kind of rewarded me.
Now, Snowbear, do you want to talk about the improvement we made to Mount Moon and why people may not be seeing a certain?
Oh yes. So there is so I briefly stopped into Mount Moon, and there is a. Normally, you would have Rival 6 pop in there and fight you immediately. Yes, the stream can be cut. But because there are 8 different ways of triggering, 8 different entrances that are Mount Moon and it could trigger it. We, for our Sandy, got rid of that because honestly, he was one of the higher level trainers, and we were basically not equipped to ever do it. I think only now would I be able to even handle him, and that'd be even a big maybe, especially with the 1.5 times levels.
Yeah, it's just basically a coin flip on what he has, like, than what you have.
So so we removed one of the options we did was we removed him from the pool, so he couldn't ever fight us. We moved that trigger for him to fight us, so we have one less rival to fight.
Yeah, because we just have just ambushed every time. Yeah, I think it was Snowbed. I think definitely threw the most into that change, which honestly it's a good change. But again, it's one of those things that you can tweak whenever you're generating one of these. There's different like variances that you could do. Like for example, we mentioned earlier about having the lit dark caves. You can have the dark caves if you wish. Like, you can tailor whenever you're generating the ROM to your specific standard. Similar enough, as I mentioned, the different difficulties we have in the actual item randomizer itself. You could go for just a key item, one of these, a full item, a nightmare ROM, whatever you please. You can tailor these to however you wish to play, or however.
However much pain you want. Yeah, no, these have been a lot of fun, and honestly, this was, because I remember seeing initially G-Master was working on this. FFR Rando was actually relatively new to the community, and I'll be honest, I was like, wait, what are you? And I just saw that what they've done, and FFR Rando has made this so much more accessible. It's easy to run the program. We're able to do everything. So really big shout out to FFR Rando again for just making this even really possible.
Definitely.
Because honestly, it was one of the harder things to even get right. So the fact that this is even state we can even run this a marathon and has been a huge shout out. And I think there's a lot of us who just really appreciate it. Anyways, kind of spices up the game.
Oh yeah, just the amount of stuff you can do with it. I mean, there's also like different things coming along at the moment. One of the things that is in the works right now is doing shop sanity, so even including all of the items, including badges and HMs, into the shops. Like we're suckers for punishment. We need more.
Oh yeah, there's lots of it. I think, and that we have in a state that currently works. No badges can be on it, but it can have pretty much everything else. And actually, when we turn that on, the shops end up dominating just everything in terms of, what items it has, because the shops have more items, even the most dense stuff. So it's actually really interesting to even do that kind of thing. But we have guaranteed, for example, some things are, because you can't sometimes skip items, but like, for example, that you'll be able to buy a water store in at least one place, and at least buy Rock Smash in one place. I think those were the biggest safeguards that we had to make sure that people would be able to do stuff. I hope also escape ropes as well, but you end up picking most of those up, and oh my god.
Oh, gotta see this.
So right now, this is one of the ambushes, and this is why you tend to just save. But because I'm a high enough level, this shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't.
This guy has definitely led people back to mom more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 2 typical ambushes you find in this ROM, in this mode, sorry. One, which we did find earlier, is basically just getting ambushed and mugged for 1,000 from the rockets. And then, yeah, this is just a full ambush that, yeah, if you're not ready, like Ergo said...
You're going to be saving a lot, specifically for that.
Although this ambush is kind of nice to find, just because, you know, finding a side of dragons den means you actually don't have to care about Claire at all.
Well, you still... Well, we haven't found that entrance, though, yet, though. Unfortunately. Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, yeah, but, I mean...
You'll all fit in whenever we have flag this. Hey, that sounds awful. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Oh, everything death touch? Oh boy. Oh, you know, so for a long time, so shout out to Monteverde again. So he's made it where basically a hard mode version of this, where he gave some of the trainers smarter AI, or they gave the Pokemon like different movesets, and some of them were just downright evil. I actually was talking to him about this before. It's just not marathon safe. But it's been times where some of the fights where you'll have like something like, for example, on a gym like Bugsy, the lead Pokemon will have something where you just will have a moveset that's anti-setup. So like a lot of times if you're under leveled, you'll use some stuff to do that. It's use X items, which are really important, and it'll just have something like Haze to undo it, or Parasong, so you can't set up. And
Whirlwind is all those fun things.
There was all these fun ones. I think he gives sometimes some of the trainers extra Pokemon as well, so that's another thing. Oh, it's beautiful and horrible. It's amazing. There are so many things you can do with these. Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of, we
are suckers for pain.
we need to commission Monty for one of his fun plandos again.
Oh
Yep.
Goodness gracious!
Well,
that was
amazing.
a lot of fun.
That was amazing.
That was a thought experiment. Because we had some rules about where Fly could be, and he took the thought experiment. I made one myself. It wasn't as evil, but he turned it up to 11. There was some really funny things. I think, for example, he changed the warp for Morty's gym so that the warp takes you right to Morty. So you didn't. So if you didn't notice it, you could skip all the trader fights. I actually didn't notice it until the end, but then when you're trying to go back, you have to actually go back in that path, rather than just kind of take the warp, let the warp take you back out. So that was one of the more amusing things.
It's surprisingly hard to do stuff like that backwards when you're used to doing it one way all the time.
I think I might reset back a little bit because I saved outside of Lavender and I don't want to do those fights. I believe I saved in a certain place back in computer, so I took a way back and I wanted to finish some warps. So yeah, I did save. So you'll see there was a lot of progress I just did, and then it is all just gone. I'm gonna probably have to fight the ambush guy again too, now that I think about it. So that's something I'll have to remind myself for the end, so that when I'm getting those items back when I've surfed, to try to avoid him.
If you have whirlpool access, you can just go the other way.
Right.
If you remember.
Yeah. So now there's a couple items. There's been a lot of warps here, and some items that I skipped out on for a while. I think I got all the Ilex Forest items. It's been a while. I did grab those all, right? Not Ilex Forest, the Viridian Hedge Maze. It was once upon a time Viridian Forest, but
there.
Yeah, you got the Hedge Maze stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of affectionately call it the Hedge Maze because it's not really a forest anymore. It's really just hedges now. They kind of cut everything down.
It's the inferior Hedge Maze.
Yeah, because what we also refer to hedge maze is Nugget Bridge. We affectionately refer to as Nugget Hedge Maze because, yeah, there's a bridge, but it is literally just a maze going around because all the trainers are in the maze rather than on the bridge. So we have just plenty
so
of them taking over.
Crystal took a lot of the original game, Red Blue games, and then because there was not as much space, they cut out a lot of the old content.
Yeah,
For
they're very
example,
muted it. Yeah, I think I've heard it referred to as like a Canto Light. Or like
yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely sounds correct. Okay, so fighting Slowpoke well actually opens up the Farfetch quest that normally gives cut. Also, after completing that, you can get the charcoal item from the guy that I believe you found earlier somewhere.
I did. He was right by he was right by Red.
Oh
Red's
yeah, he was in
room.
the Victory
Yeah.
Road.
I also-
you might think, yeah. You might
It's
think
gonna be
the
a little bit
Slowpoke
hard to
levels
get
are-
that one.
Yeah.
The other thing though is I picked up the machine part, so that unlocks really the warps that we've already done. Already gone both of those entrances, but it also unlocks some items as well.
Also, another thing that Slowpoke well opens, you can enter the entrance that is what's the Bugsy's gym? Yeah.
Yeah, Bugsy Gym and Azalea, that's what's going to come towards because lot of that kind of different things you get to unlock from this. So even though it is like 4 fights, it's usually worth opening.
Also Kurt's item, I suppose.
Oh
so
yeah,
it's
Kurt's
actually
item
quite a
as
few
well.
items. Quite a few
Yes, yeah,
items and
you
one
got-
entrance. So
The one in here, the 2 from the charcoal guys, the 1 Kurt, and the warp. So 4 items plus 1 warp. For
yeah.
4 fights,
And
why not?
in some situations you might actually have to go through here to get the 1 warp that is also surf and strength locked. So
I did find
Plus-
that one though.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did find that.
Plus, at the end of this, like once you defeat this guy, you get a free heal. Hey, might as
Mhm.
well.
It's actually kind of nice because I ran out of PP on headbutt.
I noticed, yeah. Delete?
I'm just trying to figure out where back to go to, but yeah, this is the hard part because I have all sorts of. I've found some places to warp to, but then there's like, well, where do I go to now? So this is why all these colorations have been really helpful. Because I think my next place is to finish off Saffron, which I never finished off because.
Yeah, you got a couple warps there left.
Yeah, so this is the kind of thing. So even though I found Fly super early, you can never take into account where the storm bench is going to be, and it's just I am known to in the terms of Prism Zeta, who first seriously coined it, but I've sort of adopted as my own. I have expertly dodged this kind of stuff. Expertly dodged the Fly.
Not having fly is usually not a huge problem until a little later, but the way this is going, Snowborough has actually had to backtrack quite a bit, so...
Yeah, so there's Wool Warp number on count. I don't think it's shown on stream, but I have like
It's not.
113. So I generally at the hour mark, I've been trying to keep up. Like someone like Montebank and Raph are really good about this, or really good and much better at this. But I, getting like having 150 warps by the hour mark is really good, and then kind of cutting that down more. But it's always, of course, depend on Fly and the layouts itself, so you never can be sure.
Sometimes if you have a early 60 and you just breeze through gyms and stuff, you can actually have quite a few more warps left at this point.
Yeah, I noticed that
If
I
you-
could have been buying some of the other stuff. So now I'm trying to go back and figure out where I want to go to.
Yeah, because
Yeah, so that's what these fights are really nice for.
Not even seen yet. We haven't seen Signwood, Mahogany,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there are quite a few places.
Celadon, like...
I didn't. There's so many places I haven't explored. Oh, oof. So this looks like I need to
Yeah,
get out
still-
somewhere.
There's a couple of
So-
places you need to finish off. Saffron, Fuchsia, there's a few warps there left.
So where's Okay, so that just leads me back to Azalea, which I I finished Exelia, so I don't want to go there. So
you can do the gym.
Boxes gym. Yeah.
Oh, I can do Bugsy's gym. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna get mugged again. Oh, I guess the cutscene only triggered once this time. Normally in the vanilla game, it triggers every time you go through it until you defeat that. So, well, thank you guys for helping me out there, trying to find these.
Surprisingly easier
as
when you
much-
don't have to think about yourself too much.
Yeah. Look, as much as I'm here to just taunt you, like yeah, I do want to make sure that the wait,
The show does finish.
Bye bye a go-go.
Bye bye a go-go. Very good.
Yeah, so that was one of the things, because I triggered the cutscene of the power plant earlier, that triggers that item. I do need to go turn in this machine part back in, as we talked about, because that has been bugging me so much.
Was that intended? You're just exiting Bug Gym and speaking about bugging out.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, here's a Celadon. Here's a totally new place. Great. This is what I needed. More progress too, because getting a little bit nervous. Haven't even gotten that phone call for 7 badges yet. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah. 7 badges is actually important number because it triggers the whole Goldenrod event in Rocket event in Goldenrod. So if you you can actually
Sorry, go on.
You can actually complete a whole underground thing with Rival before 7 badges without actually having to fight anyone except Rival. So that's
We've also moved the rockets.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the things as well, is that the rockets actually in Goldenrod, until you did that, would block off certain sections of the map. And so that's been patched, so it no longer does that. And oh, where was that? I've been to the other side of this. Where was that pink warp that I got? Oh, this is it. There we go. That was... I don't know why I'm fighting this person, but this is the other olivine person that I couldn't go to before. This was that lighthouse.
Always nice to open these up when you can't go around them necessarily.
Yeah, so this is... Yeah, so that was an avoidable fight, but in terms of, you know, never knowing when I'm gonna need to go back, that might be a useful one.
It's only 1 poke, so it's whatever if you accidentally trigger it or something. Yeah, definitely wanna look around Celadon right now.
So we finally have the squirt bottle. There's a bunch of rocks we can smash, and I haven't found the rock smash TM floating around. There is one that floats around in the pool, but because I haven't gotten that, I need to go actually get in Goldenrod. So this is some nice item there. So I'm getting the stuff from Violet, but there's also be able to going back and grab quick items that I wasn't able to grab on the way there. So Storm Badge for example, cannot be behind these, so I could delay them, but if I'm right here, I might as well grab these quick items.
Yeah, even though Storm Badge can't be here, you could have like Fog Badge or Surf or whatever here, so it's definitely not a good idea to leave them lying around. When you're
side note, I think it's probably a good time for some donations, if there is any. Or to plug the charity.
Well, we do not have any new donations in, but I did get a little bird in my ear earlier that if we do hit 2K by midnight tonight, we will surpass the one-day donation total that we had during the summer marathon, which was $1,943. So that's a nice, little bit longer-term goal that we can shoot for. And we have some incentives that we can actually push toward that are coming up for later randomizers. Let me see. Oh dear, I think I skipped a little too far. But we do have the Aria of Sorrow randomizer coming up. We have some incentives for the Mega Man 2 randomizer. We have incentive for the either revealed or hidden stage names, and Hidden is leading that right now. And you also have an incentive for the fastest or slowest health refill, and slowest refill is leading that one with $50 right now. There's also definitely some incentives that you can go towards for the overnight block, which is going to be a number of different randos as well. So there's definitely a lot of stuff to randomize and to get going with donations. And I saw Professor Elm say something, so I will surrender the mic. But definitely keep on donating, keep on shouting us out, and keep on helping us support this great charity.
I actually don't know what that wasn't Professor, that was Mr. Pokemon and then Professor Oak, but I actually don't know what that very first item was that was given. And you might have seen me talk to a guy who gave you a picture of Licky Tongue. That's actually a nice change that Chaotix implemented. It's not a check that I've included with these, because it gives you normally some of the different stones when you show them different Pokemon. But it's a definitely little jab, a little kind of tongue-in-cheek to kind of show this kind of stuff, but as well as sort of an ongoing thing between me and Ergo, where we'll talk to some of these NPCs that you don't need to.
Yeah, very much like the difference between the fisherman and Olivine. Like, is this the one that's supposed to give you the good rod, or is this the one for the Krabby trade?
And yeah, in this case, the guy who gives you the good rod is has a green shirt. The one who's the Krabby trade is a red shirt. It's the only way I do it.
Side note, I do hope that whole triggering multiple phone calls thing was actually fixed.
I believe so.
Should
have been, but I haven't triggered it. I haven't triggered it since then.
I mean, you just got your 7th badge in the freaking red scale house.
Oh, right, but I don't think that's gonna have any effect because there's no items locked behind either one. The biggest one that was concerned was Faulkner and 7th badge, because you need his phone call after you leave to be able to get the item from the get the egg from the aid to get the item there. So
yeah, I don't know, just like might affect rockets, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
are you going back for it?
Probably not.
That's glad you went back for that. Very good.
Yeah, stock up on those max repels and maybe a few more X items and check the TMs.
Yeah.
Also, what? 10 more warps?
Oh yeah, so many more.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, this is like the kind of nice little hub points again. Like so many warps you're able to go through. It's very nice.
Well, I guess I'm gonna be exploring this anyways because they're both entrances to the mart. So there's some nice TMs here as well. So thank you so much to everyone who's been around, of course.
Why
so
is
this is the kind of fun thing. And this guy, I am so glad that they finally made that guy stop moving.
We're gonna see it. Yes. So we're gonna come across on the screen is that NPC just below you there. So he can move, but what he can do is he can move upwards and just completely block you, and it's very annoying. And you just have to wait for him to move. It's like, excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Just,
specifically, it's never an issue if you're going up the stairs, but because we're not going up the stairs, it's an elevator thing, and it was total RNG. It drove me up the wall crazy. I was like, please. And the only thing you can do is either just sit there and wait for him, or you can go back into the elevator and leave and get back out of the elevator and hope that his RNG spawn moved so he didn't move up, or at least not immediately anyways.
I swear he was like, what, 85-90% to go up?
At least.
Yeah. Definitely not 50-50.
No, it was horrible. So there's been small changes with that, so thankfully, in that case.
Let's go mahogany.
Yeah, so I'm finding these places that I hadn't found earlier, which is really nice to see.
Yeah. And although you guys can't see it, but the warp count is going down really fast right now.
Yeah, of course, every time you connect one of those warps, it goes down by 2.
Yep.
It's not very visible with this, and
Yeah, so normally we start with 332 warps that are applicable to us. Now, there are a couple that there are available, but they maybe just go to one ways. So we don't necessarily kind of count those. But kind of 332 main ones we go through. Snowbear's Going through at the moment, we've got 83 left to explore right now, as I can see on the tracker. So we're slowly grinding them down. Like, yeah, so making good progress so far.
So that room that I escape roped out of, that's the escape rope chamber room. You can tell because there's people inside it. Unfortunately, there was no good place to escape rope out to, so I had to go back through, track through those rooms.
Yeah, so we did kind of hint towards this earlier. So each of the ruins of Alf, each of these puzzle rooms has its own way to get to these back rooms that have 4 items apiece. As Snowbear's mentioned, this one here is you have to escape rope out of to get to.
Yeah, so we've
each has their own requirements.
Yeah, so there's one with Waterstone. We haven't found that one as far as I know. We have found the one that requires you to have gone the hoe at the top of the tower. Well, normally it's just hoe, but we've changed it in these because you never guaranteed hoe. So that one being so just being the top of the tower. So we have found that one. That one is a little bit hard to place to get back to. And then there's one where the Waterstone, and there's one for you have to use Flash. So I don't think we've found the Flash one, or I thought I have, but I don't remember.
I don't recount.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of ones with different requirements.
Yeah, if you find any of those chambers, or like you get the access, just 4 instant items for free. Very nice to have.
So yeah, this one I did because I just didn't want to fight one more trainer. Unfortunately, because of how it is, this trainer, little girl here, that girl here is a trainer, and she, if I had kept that item, I would have had to, I would have had to fight her, and I just didn't want to fight her. I didn't see what that TM was, but it doesn't really matter in this case. I think I need a couple of those and a couple of these more. So I should be good for shopping for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you wanna complete your shopping here when you finish these warps off. Because sometimes getting back to the shop is not that easy.
Yeah. This one's nice because it has those Maxer Pulse, so I was able to get enough Maxer Pulse to just kind of mindlessly do that. Although, speaking of Waterstone Chamber, seems we just came across with this one. Since it just automatically opened, since I have a Waterstone on one of my Pokemon. It doesn't actually have to be on the Pokemon. It can be in your inventory as well. But, it saves the space in the inventory. This was one of the things I found. I guess it's always been a thing, but it wasn't exactly common knowledge. Just don't remember which way I entered in. Okay. So dropping out the back of that room is actually the same as dropping into here. So that's why I made a point to get out of that. Yeah, so we've made it so that the back of the chamber drop isn't separate. Because normally, when you drop into the hole, it drops you into the Ruins of Elf map. Which has actually been removed in terms of this kind of thing. Because it's one way in. You can only drop out, and there's like only a stair back in. So that was one of the few rooms that are removed. There's been a couple other ones that are removed to prevent soft locking, so...
Another badge.
So I'm slowly getting enough badges here, but we're gonna need a lot more here.
Yeah, and finding the last one or two are always a bit of a challenge.
Wait, did I sell a Quick Claw earlier? Did one of my Pokemon come with a Quick Claw?
Yeah, the Pidgeot came with it.
Sorry, there's a certain amount of items in the pool, so we've changed some of the items so it's not, you know, they're not exactly corresponding. One of the things I did was, in one of the settings I did was upgrade some of the items, so we're not always getting trash items, because there's a lot of items that honestly end up being trash, and I don't want to be constantly going to my bag to toss things out when there's anything useful. But, hey, Yeah, so that's one of the things that's nice about it. Oh, one of the small changes there is that we have. So these are the haircut guys.
Yay.
Normally, there's only one of them that appear up.
There it is. Right, again, because remember the lag. So that badge that Snow Bear's just found, that's the storm badge. That is the second part of fly. So now we are going to be able to fly around the map freely. So this is going to make my routing much simpler.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna speed up.
This was actually a hard place to get to. This was, this was what from Ekrid. Had to go to Celadon, and then that was. I don't even know what the logical part of that honestly is, because that was quite a complicated chain.
Well, there are 2 more entrances, so maybe it was the other way around.
Could be.
We'll see soon enough.
Oh, so there we go. So there was the way I could have gotten it.
You'll probably notice that Snowbird didn't actually have to use basement key to open that door.
It's due to cleared fuchsia.
Completely useless item in this warp rando.
Man, I was in fuchsia so early too. This is what I talked about when I've expertly dodged it. And honestly, it's quite understandable, But if I had kind of been a little more deliberate about finishing it, I might have been able to find it sooner.
What was it that sent you around? Oh, Aqua. Yeah, I think it was that.
Yeah, it was the SS Aqua. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Ice Path Holes, and then it was Runes of Alph Bottom that I did.
All the fuchsia warps.
But here's the Ice Path thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is part of the fun part. Sometimes it's just like, wait, what was it? And trying to backtrack, trying to figure out what its path was. But it's actually really just nice to be able to do this. Now that I can fly around, it's gonna make the trip or getting back to warp much easier.
The fly definitely helps most in the so-called cleanup phase, where you have singular warps around every part of the map. Not having to figure out how to get somewhere on the fly is actually pretty important.
Oh, okay. I got worried I actually failed the quiz there. No, I didn't get the item. Sometimes I'm mashing the wrong things. The quiz is actually really not hard, but for me, it's because I mash A or B. Because it's 11212 is the answer. So it's yes, yes, no, yes, or true, true, false, true, false, which is really the answer to a bunch of these actually. Anytime there's really a quiz, it's what after 11212 is you solve with the Claire's quiz. There's other answers, but those are the quicker ones.
So because Snowbear has more than 7 badges, their rockets are actually here, so he has to fight this one guy to get the Buenas item.
Yeah, so actually
not gonna fight the rest of them because no card key, so there's really no point going up there.
There's one item there, and it's so slow to get that. Although funny thing is that you can't get to access there before those places because there's a guy who blocks you, but you have to actually get the rockets to spawn. So I have gone my 6th badge on Buena and
yeah, I have to fight the guy.
And I have to go down and go back up, and yeah.
Okay. This is the flash chamber.
Yeah. It's taking a while to get myself. I didn't need to mark it properly, but I guess that's one of my downfalls.
It's a force of habit.
Oh my gosh, I haven't. Oh, so this is Mount Moon, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to. Oh my gosh, bonking is hard. So there's Cyanwood. That's important too, because some of these places are really hard to find. That's why, for example, prioritizing Saffron is always important. So there is an item there, and there's the item finder. I can finally complete the game, as we've always joked about.
Yep. Because how are you gonna find the hidden items without item finder?
Yeah. That's sort of an in-joke. It's not needed at all. The item finder actually in this game is not as helpful as some of the other later ones because it just tells you if there's an item around.
Why would it be nice if you had Rock Smash right now?
So we finally found Professor Oak's lab. So that's where we're gonna have to go talk to once we have 16 badges.
Nice that it's actually connected to a sensor because you're able to heal before red at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we just found Bill in his cutscene. So it's actually funny. So that one, he came out, because I was facing him, he came out of it. So we've kind of got sort of some jokes going around with that one, but it's always fun. You know, a lot of our things is also just kind of saying Bill, Bill, Bill. Because that cutscene triggers only the first time you go into that center. So it's very distinct in that way.
Ah, secret potion.
Yeah, so now I'm getting some of these key items that were sort of necessary, but...
Yeah. It would always be nice to find these before you actually find the places where you turned them in, but... you don't always get what you want,
so... The only ones that I've gone before the quest turn in was the red scale, actually, which was what we were talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm getting these sort of out of different order, but there's all these sorts of items. They're just trying to figure out the warps and stuff in this case. So this is one of the warps that we actually kept vanilla in the game. This daycare place for, I think, most people's sanity. So that you could actually pick up the eggs and if you're doing anything you need to breed Pokemon with, you can do that.
Yeah, you might actually have to breed if you were doing something like maximum or whatever.
Yeah, some of the Pokemon
where the Pokemon checks
really
are. Yeah.
Trolly.
Like there's Pichu, for instance, is something you definitely might want to breed.
I guess you don't actually need to breed for Togepi. Showing just Togetech's fine. Actually, in the original game, as long as you had Togepi or Togetic and hatched that egg, I think they changed it so it's just any egg, or it doesn't matter any egg now. But such a weird code. But yeah.
Radio. So the Pokegear parts don't actually have a huge meaning, especially now that he has Fly, but there's still one warp behind the Snorlax. And if he didn't have Fly, then it would actually open up a map a bit.
Yeah, it would open up the Lavender area a lot more.
Make a Vermilion and Lavender basically a one big hub.
The other day I actually got, within 30 minutes, 20 minutes, all 3 parts. I was just like, oh my gosh, but I had already gotten both 60s, so it wasn't even, unfortunately, very helpful. That was Rhyhorn's cry. That was Rhyhorn, and fun part about Rhyhorn is that it has the exact same cry as Charizard, so you never know from just the cry which one it is.
Yeah, it's always like, is it a Paris or is it a Mewtwo?
Yeah, so a lot of them are very subtly different, but that one is the exact same cry, and that's one of the fun ones I liked to do. I'm gonna have to go back to Goldenrod at this point. Eventually get that Rock Smash, because I found all these Rock Smash ones, but...
Have you cleared the pseudo yet? Because you've got...
I have cleared the pseudo, and I did pick it up. Eventually I'll go back to it. I'm hoping to find the Rock Smash sooner rather than later, you know, so I don't have to buy it, but it's not such a big deal if I have to, since Goldenrod Mart is not that... Fortunately, I found the bug catching contest just now, but we had already gone into National Park, so bug catching contest there lets you kind of get around the logic, because we have it so it quits automatically to the same place, but you can get 3 of the 4 items in National Park doing that, so it lets you kind of peek in.
Yeah, Snowbear wants, definitely wanted to find the Rock Smash, because you don't really have any reason to go back to Goldenrod Mart. There isn't anything there, basically, so... Don't want to go there just for the Rock Smash TM, if you can avoid it.
Yeah, the next time I'll be going there is probably just to go to beat Red, so...
Yeah.
Or maybe now that I have 8 badges, I can... Once I find out, I have to go back to Alex Forest and move the move the Farfetch'd, and then of course courtesy move for Trickham's there, as we found the actual cow, the mill tank.
Moo.
Ah, very good. Moo.
Why didn't you feed it enough berries to make it happy?
I think it's because we removed all the berries from the item pool.
Unacceptable.
Yes. Always go for the happy moo.
I was very pleased the amount of races I was able to commentate for that tournament. The amount of happy moves I got, I was very, very happy.
Yeah, so you have to feed it 7 regular berries, and then after the 7th one, it'll be done. But I think a lot of people like to just talk to the cow one more time for that moo, the happier cry rather than the sad moos.
Moo.
So I'm finally able to get these items here. Trickup, do you want to talk about why I like to get these items right now rather than later?
Yeah, so clearing the Lake of Rage here, there's various items here, but on the left-hand side, there is one of the weak siblings that we mentioned earlier. But just where Snowbear's cutting now, if you clear this after you have completed the Mahogany Rocket sequence, there is, for some reason, just a trainer that spawns in that corner. So it's always good to get this done now before you do that sequence, just so you avoid a fight for those 2 items up there.
This is also a pretty item-heavy location. There's what, 5 items behind this Scott thing?
Yeah, so that sounds about right. I honestly don't count enough.
I just threw a number up.
Yeah, the reason why there's an extra item with the weekday siblings, I didn't mention that previously, because normally what would happen is, again, as per the day of the week, you get a different sibling which will give you whatever item they wish to give you. So, for example, you have Sunny on Sunday, the one on Route 37 below Equity, who gives you the magnet, all those. What would normally happen is, if they're not there, they would have a hidden item under them. What we had to do was, especially for like this mode, for example, had to kind of figure out a way to get both items available. So we were able to kind of drag the hidden item to the space in front of the weekday sibling, just to make sure we weren't going to miss out on anything. Now, yeah, do you want to... Right, yeah, let's say, I'll let Snowbear explain the importance of this gym. I know we alluded to it already, but you can kind of give us
yeah,
the
so as
full list on
Ergote
that.
brought up before, this is Faulkner's gym. So I tagged up earlier on the Violet City Center, because after beating him, you have to go outside, and once you step outside, you get a call from the aide. You going, hey, can you pick up this egg? And so you have to pick up the egg, and once you have the Zephyr badge, you can what happens is actually that's the only trigger to get the item on Violet, the Miracle Seed guy, because normally he wouldn't even let you through without picking up the egg. So we've stopped him from blocking you, as well as the Rage Candy Bar guy who normally blocks you if you don't have 7 badges from going in here. Actually, I think he's just totally removed from these warp randos. And so there's all sorts of kind of things, and that was one of the places where we were possible to lock yourself out of the item, as I explained earlier.
Oh, one of the things I just realised you're missing marked off your track. You haven't marked off strength.
Oh, thank you
yeah.
so much. Yeah, I did pick that up.
You can even use it.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I can use it. Oh, I just picked up strength, that's right, because I found... Hey, got Dugtrio. So there was the trade. If I wanted to see the trade, I could catch it and traded off in the power plant. We've been to the past a couple of these trade Pokemon. I think only one I had actually talked to was the one in Goldenrod Mart, which is on the 5th floor, which is Abra. But there's a couple of those trades around. I think there's most people know of most of the Johto trades. There's actually a couple of Kanto trades as well. It's actually kind of bizarre. There's one in Pewter Center, which I've definitely passed. And then there's one on Route 14 behind a cut brush, which is a Chansey trade, and then there's the power plant trade, which is Dugtrio.
Yeah, I've had some varied successes with those trades. Shout out to Paul the Sunflora that carried me for half of a ride.
Was it? Oh, that's right.
Half a full life that time.
You've also had what, the Raticate too?
Yeah, let's go Baxter. Baxter the Raticate, the legend.
We do randomize these names as well, so that's why they aren't quite named as they would be in the game.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, Rocky's not necessarily Rocky.
Yeah, I've seen that once. Rocky being actually Rocky the Onyx.
Yeah, some of them do stay the original name.
I've kept I know with mine, I've kept the original names, some of the original names still in here. So yeah, I just bought Rock Smash. I was like, you know what, this is a good time to get it.
Yeah, there's so many items like through just this one TM. Like you have the various ones in Dark Cave, but then also there are like hidden items as well. There's a couple in Cinewood, there's one in Olivine, and then one which also has some decent music, as I mentioned earlier, is the Clefairy cutscene at Mount Moon exterior. Was a fun one to go check.
Go do that right now, actually.
Then there's also one in Burnt Tower.
Yes.
Oh, that was the cave. That wasn't actually what I was thinking. I was gonna go to the outside. I forgot that was that.
The Clefairy thing is still in the way that if you trigger it early and don't you do it, you have to clock reset.
I think they might have fixed that one finally. That was in one of the patch notes that was fixed, but I don't know if we've actually done the fix or not. I believe it has been happening. Yeah, so I just saved and reset out of place because I didn't want to. It's a long place to go through, and I'd rather save it for later. Oh, this is a good place to find, though. So I just found the back of here, and you want to talk about why this is a really good place to find Ergo?
Oh yeah, so as everyone who's ever played these games know, there are so many trainers you have to fight to get here. And it's just such a time waste, so it's always nice to find the back of that. So you don't have to fight like, what, 5, 6 trainers?
6 trainers.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
It's Ergo's favorite spot.
Yes. Favorite spot to do last.
It is, yeah, it's a bit of a meme spot in regular full item randomizers because, again, yeah, going through all of those trainers for essentially you have the 2 checks that Snowbear's just done, and then also, yeah, ruining Misty's date, getting called a pest, just for all of that. So to be able to find the back of that, skip so many fights is so good.
Only place I can think of this.
Fine.
Yeah. Only place I can think of that's better to find the back of is Dragon's Den.
Speaking of which, we haven't found. I think it's only very rarely that you actually have to beat Claire. So, do you want to talk about why it's rare for us to beat Claire? Ergo.
Yeah. So yeah, beating Claire only opens up. The only thing it opens up it's the entrance to Dragon's Den in Blackthorn. So that's literally only one warp. You can get Claire's TM and badge items just by getting to Dragon's Den and completing the whole quest thing. So you really don't want to defeat the gym. It's quite long and yeah.
That's a really annoying path to get to for Kenya.
That was really gross. So I just picked up Kenya. So this is why you keep your room in your party, at least one room in your party for that. This is Kenya. So it's a spirit normally, and you go here, you give him a Pokemon with a male, and he gives you an item, and then you have to go back And going back there that was a long place back, and unfortunately the way back was very gross, to say the least.
Yeah.
Because that was through that long ice path door that you just don't like to do.
Yeah, that's something you definitely want to reset away or escape rope auto. One time. Only one time.
Yeah. That's why I postponed showing it the first time, but then when I saw the other end of that gatehouse was a dead end, I had no choice but to just do that.
Yeah, these along with doing cycling road going upwards are like the worst things.
Speaking of which, I do need to go back there.
You do.
Oh. That's a place I haven't explored. So the nice thing about this map is that actually, if you kind of click on one of the question marks, you can kind of cycle through the places you haven't really explored. So I realized I hadn't explored this part of Goldenrod at all.
Literally, it's like half of your remaining warps right now.
Mind if I sneak in another donation?
Oh, of course. Yeah, this is a perfect time for that.
Alrighty, Falconic donating $34 said, time to spice up the FFR run with so many changes that I can't fit all in this comment section. And I will note Falconic didn't even try. Darkman can expect a PM from me shortly, and remember, it's for a good cause. And that incentive or series of changes, or I'm not exactly sure what all that's going to change, is relating to our Final Fantasy Randomizer run that is going to be, I believe, in the overnight block. That is chat and donation incentive decided. So, yeah, y'all get to choose on that one. If you want to take a gander, we can get links up so that you can look at all those incentives. And hate saying that sounds ominous. Yes, it very much does. And I'm interested to find out what in the world that all changed. But that's definitely toward a great cause, of course. We've got a ton of runs that are still to come. And remember, our big goal by tonight is to get 2K. So if we can get 2K by tonight, we beat Summer's first day goal. So definitely we are pushing for that. So yeah, let's keep going, y'all.
So I just picked up a couple of key items.
Yeah, flash and card key. Not much incentive using card key right now, since you actually don't have the whole Goldenrod basement thingies found.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of more concerning that I haven't found the Goldenrod basement, but flash is needed for exactly 4 items.
Mm-hmm. You have found the blast chamber already, so that's good.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I've sort of found it, as we've sort of found out at this point, most of Goldenrod is kind of dead ends. I still haven't found a way of swimming, which is somewhat concerning as well, because there's still a lot of items that are locked by it. Trickup, do you want to talk about the basement? Goldenrod basement.
Oh boy, basement. So great, absolutely amazing to find early. Terrible if you find it a bit later. So as we've kind of can see as we even go around Goldenrod, once we have 7 badges, it spawns the rocket segment as we've seen in Radio Tower. Now, what it does also do is spawn the rockets in nice timing in the Goldenrod basement. So if you find it before, it's great, because before the 7 badge you can literally collect all the items, and then you have just the rival fight to be able to kind of get through both warps. As we have more than 7 badges at the moment, as Snowbear's ducked out of, all the rockets would spawn in that section, and boy howdy, if you decide you ever want to try and get through that takes up so much time, because you have, was it what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what, I think 8 fights to get to the director, and then it's just awful.
Yeah, if you're grabbing all the items, you actually have to fight every single one of them. I think if you don't grab all the items, you can dodge maybe one of them? I don't... Oh no, I don't think you can.
If you come from the back, you can skip the first guy, I think, and the rival.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly.
Yeah, something like that.
But if you come from the rival side, then you have to do everyone.
It's gone!
Oh yeah, that was clever. Absolutely destroyed.
Alright, okay, alright, I did promise people, so I unfortunately have to tell the story now. So, even though, like, yeah, doing the commentary here, and we've done all the extensive testing, I only came into the community just over a year ago, in last year's bingo tournament. That was kind of my full introduction to the Crystal Rando community. Being very new and knowledgeable, one of the goals on that particular that particular bingo race of that day was to evolve 4 different Pokemon. And me being the panicky noob that I was, tried to level up a Cleffa, one of the babies that will only be evolved through happiness. And I spent about 20 minutes, 30 minutes going through fights and biking, trying to level up this Cleffa. After the other person already won, I was valiant. I believed I was valiant in my efforts, and then no, it turns out it was all for nothing. So it was a bit of a scar that went deep that day. It's just like how raw and how dumb I was that day, just because just mine was completely lost, and I've just never been able to throw that off my back. So now it's just defeat all Cleffas. Go, get rid of them.
Although now with this one, we actually have a setting where you changed that the happiness evolution should just be the very next level, so that would have saved you. But some of the has had that.
Oh,
I think one of the very first one of these warp randos, I found a level 60 Cleffa, and I ran it through Rival 6. This is back when we still had Rival 6 around. So I named it after Trickums because eventually I knew he would pop into my stream and be horrified.
I hated it.
He actually came into the call because I was in a call with someone else, and he came into the call just to mention how evil it is.
Oh, I burst into that. Oh, I remember.
It's all we all make fun of each other a little bit. It's a lot of fun.
It's part of the fun.
Oh, of course, Strife, of course, mentioning his own little the fun starts. I think I have one of the names here, Strife Strats, where he exploded on a Pokemon that used Dig, so it didn't exactly help. And this is why this is why I like special Pokemon. I should have taught Waterfall or something this moment, because honestly,
Aeroblast it.
Yeah, Aeroblast is
I needed that crit. But yeah, no, we have a lot of us who've been in the community for even a little bit of time. But, you know, we all have our little fun memes, and we kind of, it's all fun and games at this point. You know, one of the most notorious things about me, for example, is not only that, but I have very bad movement. So you've seen me probably bonk all over the place.
Someone thought at some point that it would be a good idea to show up bonk counts in the whole ending screen.
For a long time. My count is ugly.
It's kind of depressing, but you know, some people like to watch them who are actually good.
These warp randos, I have never gone sub 1,000 bonks with these. When you're doing normal ones, I get maybe 300, 400. There's some of them who are really good, like you get like 29, because that also counts, for example, bonks that you have to do an ice path.
Shoutouts to Vandio with that.
Vandio and actually Woogie, I think, is the lowest.
Yeah, Woogie.
Yeah, they're amazing. I'm just like, I don't even know how to do it. I use, for example, I also tend to do dark rooms, and so to line myself up with that, I'll bonk into places, so deliberately, because you can hear the bonking sound.
Mm-hmm. You can actually even see it.
Yeah.
Funny enough, even though you can't see anything else, you can see the bonks.
What kind of random
The way your
is this thing
character
called?
moves.
Does that person normally have this Pokemon? I don't even remember.
Oh wait,
what
no,
game
you're on False Director. You're not on Rival 4 fight, are you?
No.
This is false director, yeah. 5 coughings and a wheezing.
Is that normally what it is? Actually, it's
Yeah.
actually kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Yep, it is. Yeah.
Huh? Did not know that.
Rocket guys don't have too many pokes.
Yeah, there's not a lot
I'm
of variance
getting
with them.
dangerously low with digs, but one of the nice things about this, so not only did I do this to clear out those the guys from the basement, which has a lot of items, I also unlocked this warp here, Claire's gym. We've had,
Yep.
and I was just thinking about these set of warps, so we've had some times where it's actually this warp was never obtainable. So shoutouts, of course, Chaos and ERC who've worked on this. We've had when all those kind of layouts are unavailable. There's a silver wing item that's a normal garbage item, but we have that as a debug item. It's not. It actually exists in the game. It's only off of trading from the older gens of specific Pokemon, but we've used that to kind of figure out kind of what's going on. Ah, freedom! I can swim! I can swim! Still haven't
We're also
found the other
down
60
to-
though, and I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah. We're also down to single-digit warps at this point.
Yes, we're down to 8 at the 2-hour mark, which is I think about right. Finally about right. So
Oh,
now
damn,
there's
it is
only
not
the
that
kind
much.
of inconvenient places to go back to.
This is the point where you have to decide, are you gonna do the item gen stuff, or are you gonna do the fast stuff, basically?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
now
yeah.
we've kind of gone past the 2-hour point. It's kind of like, when do I want to start taking on these kind of higher fights that I've been dodging for a while?
I think the big decision right now is Mahogany Rockets. Now that you can surf. Like, do you want to do them? It's kind of like, if you don't do them instantly, you're usually gonna put them off really far.
Yeah, so you'll see me, I'm just right now teaching the HMs. Eventually, might as well while I'm in here. Even some of the ones I can't use right now, because I do have all of them. I never marked on the tracker that I had Rock Smash. But I do have all of them now, so I can go do all sorts of things. That's the hardest part to find. And, well, I want to go back to grab those items first from the basement. I marked it with the basement key, so...
Yeah. Some people mark it with the basement key, others use the rival icon, whatever. It's like, it's just, as long as you know what you're marking, it doesn't really matter how you mark stuff.
Yeah, so there's these quick items I can get here, and then Montebake's favorite set of trainers. I say that as kind of favorite, it's kind of a little joke, but there's some of us who just don't like certain places. Like Ergo doesn't like Route 25 at all. Montebank
Likes it.
doesn't like it at all, but this is the place where he will do all the other places before this, because it's these 3 fights.
After that one weekly where this was the last batch and put off like forever, never again.
Yeah, that was back then. That was a lot of fun.
I think that was key item things. No, I don't know, it could have been because these guys had a batch, right? Had to be a full item thing.
Yeah, it was a full item. It was, right around it. It was right after the tournament. I think we were still doing those.
Yeah.
I actually have not found Morty this ROM. I hope never to find him. Wait,
All the other
I just got
gyms.
outplayed by the AI. I got outplayed. It switched out on me. The AI, I don't think anyone really knows why the AI switches out. It's completely random as far as we know. We know that certain trainers are more likely to switch out. Specifically the jugglers are more likely to switch out. But honestly, I don't know anything enough about the AI about why it decides to switch out Pokemon. It really makes no sense because sometimes they'll switch out a Pokemon that was really good, and then it'll to something that's not good, or it'll see a move that you have and it'll switch out. But I don't know. It's such a strange thing because you never know.
Can't really predict that, so it's basically just better than not care too much.
I'm really hoping I find that other 60 though, because yeah, this is the problem. So this pinch shot served me well, but it's a struggle. It's definitely not really up there in terms of really good stuff.
Pidgeot is kind of like the most mediocre things. They fall off pretty quickly when they do. I mean, double stab helps, but you definitely don't want to do Kanto gyms with this.
Yeah. Yeah, right now I have the candies, but yeah, it's not wonderful. But
This was
luckily
something
there's-
better, you would have pumped the candies in it already.
Oh yeah, I would have probably. I would have taught moves to it too, because we have some really good moves that I have, but nothing's really physical that I would teach. I might have to eventually, if we're still stuck with this, I might have to actually buy the Dynamic Punch from, what was it, Celdon store I saw that had Dynamic Punch? Because I think I sold it off already. Because that's a good one for red, because I'm already going to be using X accuracies, so you just use it. Yeah, so we're sort of getting towards the end game at this point. Where it's really just trying to narrow down all of it. Because once you get Fly and Storm Badge, that's like the middle point of the game, and then it's just trying to finish everything up.
Yeah.
So yeah, so here we see, like we mentioned earlier, if we didn't clear the radio tower, there would effectively be, there'd be 3 rockets on the top, and then just various like burglars and everything just kind of scattered in, and then more rockets in this room. So yeah, clearing all of those trains is just so much better.
Grab it. Leftovers. Leftovers are really nice for the very end.
Leftovers are like, they're a good held item, but also take up a bunch of time if you have to use them too much.
Yeah. They're not absolutely necessary, but when we're under-leveled, it can definitely help out.
Bike shop.
That's the worst end. Let's have a look at your walk. See where we can get you.
Oh, Freudian's. There we go. I'm trying to find these last few warps. I've been prioritizing the warps more than the items.
These warps are not good, by the way.
Yeah, some of them are a little bit more tricky to find.
You could do the Route 19 one, that'd be nice and easy.
Yeah.
Wait, Route 10, which one?
Well,
Go
I guess
east from Cinnabar.
Oh,
I guess that's
East West
technically
Center.
20.
Oh, I
but-
could do that, yeah, that Route 20, yeah. Yes, I could do that one. That's definitely
You
one of the
also
ones to do.
A nice easy
Right
one,
now-
lighthouse as well from Vermilion.
Yeah, this is what I'm doing right now.
Oh, that's where you are.
Hiking upwards.
I can do biking up the side of the road, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's about it.
Xavier, do the rival fight.
Oh, actually, this is perfect to go in through here. So this warp randomizer doesn't take into account this warp because you're normally not able to go across like I am right now. But the randomizer, the item randomizer takes into account that that item's bridged out, like so you can just bridge it out.
So when you think about it, you have not found more this gym. You haven't found Lance either, have you?
No, not as far as I know.
No, I haven't seen Lance.
Yeah, no,
Those
there's a
are
lot.
actually pretty big things to find.
I have found Burn Tower though, and I beat that, but I need to go back now that I have Rock Smash and all that.
Yeah, did Rock Smash and Strength there.
Oh, can't. Right, I went out the wrong one. I was like, why can't I not fly? You can't fly indoors yet. Not yet. Maybe someday.
Just break through the window. Although this house doesn't seem to have windows.
I can make one now.
I mean, the doors have windows, so through that.
Just go through this roof.
I know, right?
Oh,
Surely.
unlucky. So, Rock Smashes are 50-50 chance of getting an encounter. In this case, I have in certain areas, certain places doesn't spawn that stuff, but yeah, it depends. Like right now, in Cianwood you can get encounters, and Olivine you can, but like right now in Mount Moon I can't get an encounter. There's no encounters table for that one. So I think there's 7 rocks in maximum that you can get that have encounter, or 7 rocks that block or lead to items that can do that. So it's kind of seeing how lucky or unlucky I get.
Yeah, it's... Oh, you can flex it by 1 rock, depending on which way you go in the Dark Cave. Or, I guess if you have Surf, it's just the same amount, either way.
Yeah, so that's what I'm kind of trying to do. Get those Rock Smash items. Did I get... No, there's one more, okay. Speaking of which, I can grab all these items now. There's so many items I can grab. And now that I have Surf, all these places I've been marking as Surf locked are accessible.
There are many.
Oh, I never went back to the Violet Center. Oh, boy. Let me go do that. I was talking about that and I never did go back. There you go. Yeah, so that guy I just tried talking to, he didn't want to give me the item until now. So yeah, this is what we were worried about with the phone call. We have fast hatching on, so I just deposited it.
One of these days, it's gonna hatch before you get to the
Oh, it's
PC.
happened to me at least once. So we have fast hatching on, and that speeds up the hatching. And it's happened to me once where I tried to talk from the right side to minimize the amount of steps, and it's hatched on me right there before I could get into the PC.
So basically, it's gonna hatch at the end of the egg cycle that it is on. So it entirely depends on your step count at that point. When it's gonna hatch. It can hatch in 1 step or in, what, 254? Is the egg cycle 255? I forget.
Something like that, 255, yeah.
So depending on which point of the cycle you actually pick it up, it can hatch instantly or take a while.
So while I'm here, I'm just gonna go do these fights. So this is not a fun place to be in, because if I could find the other side of this, then I wouldn't have to do these 2 fights. Yeah.
With this warp count, since you're already here, might as well. It's only, what, 7 pokes?
No, 10. This guy has
right.
6, and there's one more guy with 4.
Oh.
It's actually one of the worst places
whatever.
in terms of pokes, but I've gotten pretty lucky in some things I'm able to dodge. You know, not having to do Nugget Hedge Maze is quite a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely a big one. Still don't have the back of dragons then.
Yeah, I haven't found that. I think just taking a look around with the warps, I'm gonna have to probably... One of the things I can do is definitely what Trickham suggested, which is surfing across from Cinnabar Island. Because that's probably going to be a good one. Honestly, that probably would have been what I should have done first, compared to what I'm doing right now.
Victory Road
it's very
Rival
possible that this
isn't...
one would be...
Victory Road Rival isn't too bad either, honestly.
I mean, it's not too bad, yeah.
So I guess this Pidgeot is kinda A, but you know.
I mean, I have perfectly normal coverage with
Yeah.
neutral
double
coverage
tap.
with Surf and Headbutt. Yeah,
Probably should
could teach strength,
Yeah.
but
I
it's
mean,
not really.
it's whatever.
Yeah. A lot of times, even though this Pidgeot's a physical Pokemon, I teach Surf because it just hits the rock types and some of those steel types just easier. So this is,
Most of
I'm
their
just passing the Chansey trade right now in that cut brush right over there. I have never hit this guy. Oh my god.
You say that
Ow.
about this route before.
No, I've hit the other guy that I should never have hit. This one I've never hit before. I always usually very careful to dodge this one and oof. A lot of these Pokemon on these routes apparently have berries on it. It's kind of strange. Yeah,
That's
so
actually
some of these
scary,
points, because of
Dragonite.
Warp Rando, it makes this place, for example, much harder to get to. Do you want to talk about some of the other places that have kind of changed in difficulty, Trickums?
No, there's nothing that springs to mind for me.
Yeah.
I hate this place. I hate everything about this.
Oh, this is where this was.
Very good.
And
Very
because
good.
of the location, you're definitely gonna have to do it right now, even if you really don't wanna, because you're not coming back here.
It's a scam! I'm telling you it's a scam! He's not gonna have anything of worth.
Well, I was gonna say Monty might be a scam, or Morty might be a scam, but we got a couple of donations that are not.
Perfect then.
All right, so Rydia007 donating $50 says, "Here's to having the starting character of Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise be Rydia." And that is the FF4 Free Enterprise solo relay race. That's going to be 2 a.m., basically Saturday night into Sunday morning in terms of Eastern Time. Then we also have $20 from Lord Fizzlebeef. It says $20 to Winner's Choice for the Time Spinner race on Saturday. So both of those are two incentives that are for Saturday as well as into Sunday morning. And I was informed by chat that the FFR run to which Falconic donated is also Saturday evening, so my mistake on that.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Oh, I can't wait for the time spinner race.
Oh, it's amazing. There's so many different randomizers. That's why it's always nice to have, just be able to find all these communities. Definitely check out all the different communities as well.
Is there a level 30 Gyarados?
Yeah, these are getting tired until the times where it's because I've put off some of these long amount of fights, or haven't even found some of them, that we're gonna start to get to where it really slows down, because there's all sorts of little odds and ends, unfortunately, because I got surfed so late, that there's lots of things that I couldn't take care of until now, and it's just gonna add up. I think about half the items are locked by surf. Something about that. It's not
I don't know
fun.
about half, but there's quite a few. I guess, like, yeah, when Mahogany Rockets are all technically behind Surf and all that, so... It's actually like, what, 50 at least?
At least.
Probably more.
Oh. Might as well just bite the bullet. Keep wanting to go back to these other items. What was I doing? So yes, so we've randomized the shiny there too, so that's something as well. Oh. That is one lost doll. Wait, did that Pokemon just turn into a doll?
I mean...
Or was it just holding on to
Ibomedol-
the little girl?
Ibomedol would make sense. Oh, yeah. That was very lost, though.
Yeah. Well, it's just all is okay because Morty was a scam, but
For once. You didn't even fall off that in invisible.
No, I was good
honestly,
this
that was
time.
good. Yeah, I know you,
I was,
you were ready. I can see that was good movement through there. I'll give you that.
Oh, I also got stopped midway with the rappel, so that was a little bit awkward.
Yeah, I mean that was the safest spot to stop. So.
It would have been nice if it was a few steps later after the trainer.
Oh yeah, on the turn.
Speaking of convenient warps, that saves me a fight.
No, is this rival then? Yeah, okay. Could have been vanilla, by the way. I believe you haven't found Blaine either.
I have not found Blaine.
So
I have 2 warps left. And...
plus the bike upwards.
Oh, shoot, you're right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so 2 warps. One of them is locked behind actually doing rocket hideout. Because you can't get through prizes.
Yeah, and these all can be, of course, they could connect to each other. They could also be dead ends. We know at least one of them has to be, Blaine. How they don't
Blaine
know
or Lance. Yeah.
Both of them. Oh gosh.
Yeah. I mean, one of them could be behind the cycling road.
Yeah, one of them could be behind cycling road. In which case, I wouldn't want to go back for either.
Actually, you want one of them to be behind cycling road.
Yeah, because it's a one-way exit.
Yeah. And also, it would mean that technically, neither of them could be behind Dragon's Den entrance.
Right.
So yeah, only Dragon's Den and Mahogany Gym entrance right now to, like, question mark things, and can't do neither of them yet.
So one of the unfortunate things about this is that I put this 3.5 hour progress thing because you can get through stretches where there's lots of progress and there's very little progress. And right now, unfortunately, we've been kind of a lack of progress.
Yeah. Estimating these is hard. Like, it could be anything from 2 hours to whatever.
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
Although Fly was relatively nice this round.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just dodged it.
Shouldn't be too bad. Oh yeah, you haven't found the Lugia either, have you?
No, that's one of the ones, and I'm hoping. Yeah, I was hoping it would have been good, but
yeah.
So you have 3 warps basically left, and you know all of them.
Yeah. Oh boy. It's just which ones are connected to which ones now.
Yeah. Actually, they can't be connected to each other, can they? Because you have 3 unknowns.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. They're effectively 3 dead ends. The 3 dead ends we were talking about.
I guess in this situation, the best case scenario is actually the Lugia being in the Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
Because that at least has no items.
Right. But if that's the case, yeah. Oh yeah, so this is the machine part place. We can finally, now that we turned in the machine part, can get this done. I did get most of the items here, but this boat, I don't have the SS ticket, do I? Oh boy.
Don't believe so.
So I'm gonna have to take these ones. I'm getting this item now out of logic, because I can't go back in. You can only get one of them based on where you get. And I believe without the ticket you can't get the other one. But logically, this one is locked by having the ticket. Okay, so there's a lot of surf locked items and places to go to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like we talked about earlier, it's basically, do you want to do these surf places or do you want to go to Mahogany Rockets?
I've been very hardly... I've been kind of avoiding some of the hard decisions and trying to squeeze some of the easier ones in, and it's not quite paid off for me. chances are I'm gonna end up having to do it. But part of the reason why I'm postponing that one is because I want to get this check done with well, there's 2 quick checks here. Or there's 1 quick check here I can get that's surf locked, and then I want to go deal with Chuck's gym because I'm going to need to do the mahogany rockets. It's in cyanwood, and so once I get once I get that one done, then I can once I beat Chuck, his wife gives an item as well. So that's as Trickums like to say, the world's worst wife, or is that what you say, Trickums? I don't even remember this point.
Yeah, Chuck's wife is something that's definitely easy to miss. Especially if you do Chuck very early and you actually can't fly straight back to check that item. Because there's really no check for that anywhere, so it's just... you have to remember it. So usually you're fine, but sometimes, especially if you have done Cyanwood all the way.
Yeah, so I'm doing these fights that are kind of mindless at the moment. I'm trying to figure out what my next plan of action is in terms of items. Been trying to mark them pink so I can remind myself, hey, I've got this one still to do.
Yeah, these are really just mache, basically.
Yeah, so at this point I still have a lot of the easier fights to do. Gosh. I'm hoping we find this soon, because we've been missing 5 badges now for a while.
Yeah, I haven't really
There's
seen
not very
that.
many high-dense locations left. I've hit most of them.
Yeah, I mean, Mordor Surf stuff is kind of high density.
That's right, I need to go do that too. Right, that's 3 items there I need to go get.
Obviously, Mahogany Rockets, but you know, that's...
Yeah, that'll be my next thing. Mahogany Rockets, and then...
I don't think... did you do the Ilex stuff yet?
I have not gone the Ilex Forest yet either.
Yeah. And obviously then there's just the one-off surf things everywhere on the map, basically.
Yeah. A couple of those. Still need to, for example... yeah, there's all sorts of things. Well, speaking of progress, sometimes the game listens to you when you complain about this. So that's one of the nice things.
Oh yeah. And just back to Cyanwood.
So he was facing down today. We were having a discussion. I guess Trickums said, I didn't know. You want to talk about Trickums about this cutscene?
Yes. As well. I have to remember the delay. Yeah, so it is weird on that one because, yeah, Lance, who is supposed to be the champion of your delightful Elite Four, just randomly assigns his Dragonite to just hyper beam a person. But yeah, with that one, there's a few quirks that can happen with that one. One of which, as you can see there, if you do clear the radio tower sequence and go in, because normally what would happen is, as we went in there first earlier, you get the normal rocket music, similar enough to the one we would get going through the... no, because it's just the normal cheery tune. Yeah, no, so yeah, it would be like the kind of the evilly music normally. But if you, clearing the radio tower sequence would actually spawn the original shopkeeper Nan back into effectively the shop floor, plus also the normal cheery mahogany music you should have. So yeah, a few quirks in and around the game. Again, Memory is a wonderful thing.
Also, as I just found out actually yesterday, apparently the guy who gets blasted by Lance's Dragonite, actually his facing is not set. Is not always it can change. It's not always facing, for example, down like he was doing today. He could be facing whatever direction before he gets hit by Dragonite. I actually didn't know that until just yesterday. I just assumed he was always facing the same way.
Yeah, that was just yesterday you found that out, but I've noticed that a few times. But yeah, it's one of those things.
Look, I don't always pay attention to those cutscenes that much. Yeah, so this is a little bit of a downtime if we want to talk about a little bit, for example, about the charity we're going through, or supporting.
Yeah, absolutely. We are taking donations for the Burn Children's Fund that is run by the South Carolina firefighters and supported by the Medical University of South Carolina. They are a group that help out with a host of different activities in regards to trying to help out children who have been harmed in fires. Some of the folks in the host table and some of the folks in chat have mentioned some things before. Forgive me, I'm trying to get some stuff pulled up. My own vision issues is making this a little bit difficult, but let me see if I can get some good testimonials and such ready. Because there are a lot of great things that this charity does, so it's been great for us to support it. I will go ahead and mention that we are pushing our way steadily towards 2K to try to hit that goal by midnight Eastern if at all possible, because if we do, we will surpass last summer's first day total. So definitely get those donations in. The latest one that we have is Hate donating $20, and I will need to interpret a little bit because the donation as it reads is matching Lorphin Borfin's donation with the same terms. Lorphin Borfin being a cute name for Lord Fizzlebeef, so you got a matching donation from Hate there. Yeah, that's kind of one of the running jokes of the FFR community is because Lord Fizzlebeef sometimes represents himself with different variations of the LFB acronym type name, it's sort of become a running joke among the whole community to try to go along with that shtick in essence. And a charity marathon is probably the best time to do that because not only is it fun for everyone, but of course all the donations go to a great cause.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's where the Rock Smash was this entire time. How unfortunate. So we found the randomly sitting at Rock Smash, but unfortunately it's not that. So this is actually much more... Because we have the bike indoors, this has just been so much more of a... It cuts down so much time here. And honestly, that was, I think, one of the biggest changes when we started allowing for biking indoors. There was two places that it really affected. One was this. Actually, three big places. One is here, this Mahogany Rockets, where you have a lot of this movement. It's actually more movement that is more than 250 steps, which is a max repel. Because now that we have the max repels, I've sometimes just autopilot once I get a certain amount and just constantly refilling it. So that's actually more than that. So the movement is it's much faster. I do have to take a slightly different path around because we changed the spinners to not be spinning, but they're rather rotating, so they have set paths. Along with the lighthouse and of course the radio tower, but those are kind of small things about that kind of thing.
I can endorse it's one of those changes that you can never go back once you're used to it.
Oh, absolutely. It was definitely one of the more controversial ones, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some of us who've been playing it started to do, especially these Warp Randos, we were like, oh, it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, going backwards and forwards and then on off the bike is just, yeah, it's just a nuisance.
But it also just speeds up movement, and I think that's one of the key things. Like when we had the item random, most recent item random tournament, we did the start with bike, and we had always bike early, but it could be like oh, ow, ow. We could take a while to get the bike. I think sometimes it took usually about an hour mini game, and so starting with bike I think just felt much cleaner for us because there's still a lot of overworld movement.
Nice mirror coat.
Ouch! It
Yeah,
hurts.
mirror coat hurts. Same as counter.
Yeah, I got punished for doing that.
Now we just need to see.
I didn't actually expect to live from the mirror coat there.
Yeah, I mean you have so much HP.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about being level 70, and I still haven't really done the hard fights.
You haven't really done anything hard, have you? Well, I guess
Not
it
yet,
depends
no.
what you consider hard, but have you
I
done a
think the hard-
single Ganto gym? No?
No, I haven't done a single one of those.
The price is like the highest level gym right now.
Yeah, Price
yeah.
is the highest level gym I've done.
Yeah. Here Lance gives his item nice old rod. I think that's all the rods.
Have I found the good rod?
Oh, I don't actually.
Not that I've seen. Yeah.
I haven't found myself tracking that. Yeah, so right now I'm trying to eliminate sort of the last progression with it, and I'm still sort of. So a lot of the times we had a progressive route. Oh, this is a really good place to find with items. Yeah, so there's always the corridors that we didn't even take into account.
Oh yeah. What? See this one.
Oh, I actually there's Lance. Oh, okay. This is the time for me to wear candy. So I'm guessing at this point I'm just full committing to the Pidgeot. I mean, I probably should have committed a long time ago, but
Can't really blame you for not committing.
I was hoping to find something better.
You're missing one rare candy. Huh?
Yeah, we have 12 rare candies in the pool, because we got rid of the bike from being in the pool. Since we start with it.
This is definitely a little nicer, being what 80 something than.
Oh, we have an earthquake. Oh, this is so much nicer. Okay, thank you. Earthquake will help us a lot. Oh my goodness, we have thunderbolt and ice beam, and this is painful. Also, I kind of regretting teaching over seeing. Oh wait. Oh, there's a lovely kiss TM. Okay, so that'll be good. Oh, there's an explosion TM. That's Montbank's favorite.
Yeah, just need to buy enough max revives to explode on everything.
Yeah. Oh boy. I would probably set up normally, but I'm fine.
Oh dear. Lead. Okay. Go on.
Nothing to worry about. Yeah, this is definitely why we candy up. You start using the candy. Sometimes you use it a little bit earlier, but honestly, now was a good time for me to use it.
Yeah, it's really like you hadn't done any hard fights, so there was really no reason to use them before.
Yeah, so Lance's ace, of course, goes up to level 75 because it's normally level 50 Drag Knight, but in this case we have the 1.5 times levels. So, the reason with the 1.5 times levels is because we know we're getting higher level Pokemon, so we still want to add a little bit of difficulty to it. Yeah, because a lot of times if you just get a level 50 Pokemon, you kind of just breeze through the game, because Crystal unfortunately doesn't have really good level progression. Once you beat the Elite Four Lance, the levels kind of stay flat around level 40, until you get to like level 40s, until you get to Blue, who has level 50s and such like that.
Lane's ace is 50, but that's kinda a. Well,
And then you have Blue with level 58 Pokemon, but yeah.
And then it's suddenly red with the 80s and 70s.
81 with the Pikachu to lead, and so yeah, so we hit a bunch. once upon a time we had the incentive for doing this, naming the rival, but considering you, I just named the rival for the first time just now, almost 3 hours in. We figured it's probably not a great incentive. To have.
So nice to be able to do all 3 items at once with Elm.
Although unfortunately I didn't have the rising badge, so I can't do that.
Oh right, you don't actually have that. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't actually have that right now. It's actually more surprising that I'm missing both Glacier Badge and Rising Badge, because the Glacier Badge means I can't do the Whirlpool items right now. Oh yes, and this is our first time going into Kanto.
There's only one Whirlpool item you can't do. You have both entrances to dragons then, right?
Yeah. Yes, so I do.
It's not that big of a deal, but yeah. There is this one single item, little up and right from here. Whirlpool
also the well one as well. Have you got northwest?
Yeah.
But he does have the actual island entrance, so would always go that way without Well Islands.
Yeah, I have a.
Without Whirlpool, rather.
Right, just for that just in case moment, just because we are approaching slowly that 3-hour mark. When is it that you would like the reveal? Because I know you'd like to be able to finish this, but
I'd like to. My estimate's 3.5 hours, so this is a 3.5 hours estimate, which we should still be able to meet. This is kind of worst case scenario.
I think this is pretty safe.
We should be able to finish with that. Start of getting these odds and ends down as you see. No, because the nice thing is it's taking me a little bit longer to do some of these marking, but because I've marked them with the different colors, I'm finally able to clean up and like, hey, oh, there's this item I can do, and there's this item I can do.
Fair enough. Oh, sorry, I have the log available when
Very
you
good.
need. But
yeah, so this one, so all these items that are just now I'm able to do.
We can see these are pretty quick cleanups.
Yeah, so I probably could have done a little bit more, but now that I've done the big checks of everything out, I think we should be mostly okay with those. Luckily,
there isn't really anything big left, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
I guess Claire's gym, if that is something that is required.
I don't think Claire's gym could be necessary in this one. Can't be, can it? I mean, I guess it could if we still have an item locked behind there.
Yeah, playing could be behind that, and there could be a badge there.
That's true.
It's such a niche thing.
It is.
Like, whether it's required or not, you're gonna do it last regardless, so
yeah.
Not too much to think about that.
Oh, there's the SS ticket. Okay, this is what we were looking for earlier. So that unlocks one item from the boat. We kept the SS ticket entrances at the SSN ticket. Or sorry, not S. That's for Gen 1. SS Aqua entrances, vanilla, so you can always do them as a kind of a way out. So obviously, when you take the boat, when you haven't talked to the guy or it just assumes you've done from the Vermilion. A lot of times I like to try to do it from the boat, but since I've already done this item out of logic, I'm going to do this item in logic, the other item in logic to get that taken care of. Especially since we have some other convenient things to do. It also gives us a free heal, although we did just heal on Lance.
There are actually quite a few free heals in this game.
Alright.
Hey.
Ah, there's the rising badge that we needed. Very good. So that would have been a little bit tricky to get.
Oh, yeah.
So while I'm still remembering it, I'm gonna go quickly get the rising badge item for Oh, well then. There we go. This is what we needed. Progress. Just kind of walked behind convoluted things, and just with that, we're only missing 2 badges. Oh, that was the wrong place to go to.
Nearly there, nearly there.
I'm doing things way too quickly. Although luckily, this has some items as well to get to. I believe 3 if I marked it. I did my markings properly.
I think you marked everything properly.
Did I get the hidden item in a critique? Must have surely gone that earlier, right?
It's so long ago that I couldn't
Probably
really
have to check
tell
again.
you, but
It's
I mean,
things like that I can't even remember at this point.
I mean, I'd say like 99% you got it from
Oh,
when
yeah,
you
usually I
first
grab
got
it
there,
the
but
first. Yeah.
it's also
Pretty sure.
better, also always better to check if you start doubting yourself, because
Oh, absolutely.
more times than you would like, it's usually, the hunch is usually correct.
Yeah. There's been some of the items there I've just totally botched and forgotten about. Okay, so I did get it, so that's
Okay.
good to know. Because it's gone.
Yeah, it's also like very fast to check, so no harm really.
Yeah, so at this point we're just gonna be blitzing whatever gyms, and I'm trying to reduce the amount of flies. If I could actually properly do these things. But yeah, my goal now is I have 1 warp left. And I know so Cycling Road is either gonna connect. I'm heading towards Cycling Road right now. So Cycling Road's gonna either connect to Dragon's Den. Actually, no, it can't connect to
It
Dragon's
can't
Den.
connect because you haven't found playing.
Yeah, well, no, well, yeah, no, it can't. So, ooh, this is not good. I don't want to be jinxed with this. I got a little greedy there. I could have probably used Aeroblast, and that would have been fine, but... Alright. Yeah, the nice thing
As you
about
can
biking indoors... Oh.
As you can see, the levels are getting really up here, so
Yeah.
definitely, like, these are way harder than
I do
this
have
stuff
these
usually
random
is.
surf checks. Still have some of the 2 off surf checks that are flying around. Like this one. I'm always forgetting about. I think because I put off doing the stuff so long, I ended up wanting to just get the surf checks, the big checks done. Gambling on that, but
I mean, it's always a choice, and usually we do these things as a races and stuff, so
oh yeah.
you don't want to do same things over and over. Don't want to be too predictable, so.
I mean, I always feel like I'm predictable anyways. But as soon as I meme, you guys are like, what did you do? What meme did you do?
You know, right? Earlier out 25?
I have a hard time. I'm not a good poker facing this.
And these are not that serious anymore.
Yeah.
So, you know.
No, it's always, you never know. I mean, that's why this has dragged on a little bit longer than I had hoped. But, so we're still pretty good time. This is, worst case scenario.
This
I am known for my bad ROMs. And this is
definitely be way worse.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the worst ones here.
Classic Snow Bear ROM, eh?
Look, just gotta make it exciting. Gotta take out all the time.
Yeah, really
Gamer
maximize
Snow.
potential.
Yeah. Gamer Snow Bear was defeated.
Oh my
How
gosh.
convenient.
So this is the dreaded thing. So Cycling Road, going up Cycling Road is just bad. Because one, you have to fight that trainer that I did. But it also is just slow moving. There's nothing you can do to avoid it. It's just horrible. Everything about it is horrible.
Yeah, who hates biking? Who loves biking uphill? Ugh.
Oh, it's so slow.
Oh, there's Blaine. Alright, so we can definitely for sure, as long as there's no more, as long as there are no more corridors with items, we can definitely eliminate, Claire from being needed. Luckily.
I can't think of any corridor with items we haven't seen, so...
I mean, there's so many of them we've seen. Oh my gosh. Look, oh, I was gonna say, luckily he's used his potion already. Nope. See, this is where I should have been setting up, but I'm just trying to power through this. These start to get to wear on you the more you do it.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like, Pidgeot is kinda mediocre in the end, even with double stab and all that,
Yeah.
so it's...
Stabbing, same
Yeah,
type of tacklers. I know we haven't talked
Oh,
about
yeah.
that much, but yeah.
Right. Same time attack bonus, so basically when it uses an attack that shares typing with it, the move power is 1.5 in the damage calculation.
Yeah, what makes moves like Aeroblast like really good.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Do you have left even?
So I do have given access to the. So this is another thing is we can do co-op, and so this the trackers actually have options where you can just kind of share with people the connection, so they're able to even check on their own without just relying on what I have of what there is.
Yeah, we could also just mess up all his warps, but where would the funny be in that, right?
No.
Hmm.
Alright, is there anything in Celadon's store I need? Oh, well there is one warp in there that I'm gonna have to do sooner or later, and that's gonna be blue. Oh gosh, that's the second hardest trainer of all. So
Blue is
putting
easily the I guess mini boss in this thing.
Yeah.
He basically takes like Red's place and like without the level boost.
Oh,
Blue,
yeah,
but Blue can be a wall as much as Red can, depending on the
oh
lead.
yeah, absolutely.
Like, this Beat Shield, for instance, if either one of those lead, like, I don't know, Thunderbolt, Zapdos, or Jolteon,
I
or
would be just
whatever, it's
toast.
just gonna be like Mercy Kill at that point, basically. Because, like, there's nothing you can do in that instance.
Luckily, because it failed, Tails. So the AI has actually got like a 20% chance of failing status moves, and so the first tail missing was actually really nice. So then I was able to guard spec, and then the AI gets locked in these patterns where it'll try to reduce your stats, even though it's not effective because the guard spec lasts all in the entire battle in this, compared to just 5 turns of later gens, so it makes a huge difference to have that guard spec. Also, X accuracy, it doesn't matter how low your accuracy is reduced, it shares the property with Gen 1 where it's used with an X accuracy, it bypasses the accuracy check of any move you do. So it's always gonna hit, your move's always gonna hit, even if your accuracy gets reduced later on.
Blessed Gen 1 and 2.
Oh, there's all sorts of weird things in here.
Even skips Gen 1 miss in Gen 1. Because no accuracy check.
It's just trying to find a quick exit out. Not so easy.
I actually do know Lugia has to be behind the dragons, then,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes, it absolutely has to be behind Dragons. The question is, in this case, trying to figure out, for example, where if there's a corridor in between that could have an item.
Yeah, I guess this is one of the few situations where having every corridor in the tracker would actually be helpful.
Yeah, Seki's tracker has the stuff, I think all of them, but I think
That's
we like to do this one with who's done by Montebank, because it has those surf item reminders and everything like that.
Yeah, and also tracking every corridor is just a bit too much. Like,
Yeah.
the tracking already slows down enough.
Yeah, so this is a fight that I already... Oh, I actually... I forgot that I had actually already done that. I thought I reset that fight away.
No,
Good
you
to
reset
know.
that. What did you reset away then? I don't know. You definitely reset some fight away.
I believe it was the Route 4 one, at least.
Yeah,
but...
you did. You did reset Route 4. Yeah.
Alright,
Oh, there's the good rod.
Yeah, there's the good rod.
Wow, we're just a clear bell away from 100%.
I don't know if I've gone there or not, but I've certainly gone something.
Don't think so.
Yeah, so there's now a couple of gym leaders still here. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I still need to do the Mount Mortar items. Gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you have like what, 2 or 3 surf
I have 3 items there.
locations and
I still have, yeah, I still have quite a few surf locations left. I also have a lot of these gym leaders that I'm doing just now. They're one-off checks.
Luckily, Kanto gyms are pretty fast. Like, there's not much. Erika's gym is basically the only place that has trainers, funny enough.
Yeah, Surge's gym has 1 trainer. They're usually 1 or 2 trainers, so once you get down to the end of doing these, it's really kind of figuring out when you're going to do it. Yeah, so with some of these things, it's nice to come back later when you have the proper ones. Like Missy's gym, actually, if I didn't have Surf, I would have to actually fight 2 trainers in there, so this kind of avoids those fights. Fortunately, this one does not invite. This one doesn't invite any fights.
Yeah, Surge's gym. Luckily, Gen 2 does not have the nice cans mechanics that especially Gen 3 has. Completely random.
Oh, I need to go back to the Ho-Oh chamber. Oh my goodness. Still need to go back and do that. And the Flash chamber. Yeah, so there's all sorts of things I'm realizing now that I need to do.
Yeah, this is usually the, like, you have time when you're scrolling through these gym leaders to look around what you have done and what you haven't done.
Yeah.
Just figure out next steps.
Ow. Of course. Of course, I ran out of the Air Blast missed, so of course wasn't able to take out that Polytoad, which is... yeah.
Oh, for people who may have just seen that, don't worry about the flashing on there. So what happens is if you heal to a lot of HP, the game just kind of freaks out a little bit, so don't worry, that will seem normal.
I'm not even sure why it happens, but it does happen. Okay, very good. We're getting there. Just one last badge at this point.
Yep. That's Glacier badge done. Yeah, at this point you have, what, four gyms if we ignore Claire?
Yes.
Couple of surf checks. That's about it. Well, now you have the one whirlpool check.
Yeah, one whirlpool check, at least.
These
a clear
2
ball.
chambers.
So it looks like we have a full inventory of key items.
Yeah, I was wondering because I did see. This is the one thing I did see on the, especially looking at the log, like seeing the clear belt inside the hover chamber.
Yeah. Somewhere it could never be actually, but.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, Janine is gonna be a complete pushover.
Yeah, although this is Jasmine we're talking about, but yeah, Janine I have to
never
go back
mind.
to.
Whatever.
It's always
Jasmine.
having to
Janine and Jasmine, same
Oh,
thing.
absolutely.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
so close.
Mm,
2 items, 1 trainer. Not so hard.
yep. And apparently 1 hyper push. Yep.
Yeah, so going to red is not going to be super bad. Fight out of red shouldn't be too bad because I do have a sleep HTM. We can bait out his full restores, and so because once you put the Pokemon to sleep, or it's not always all statuses, but usually heals with full health and usually would heal the ace, but because all of his Pokemon share the same level with the level boost, it's kind of it'll be that. But what we can do is usually put him to sleep, and he'll immediately heal the sleep. So then it'll make setting up very easy, and it should be relatively easy cleanup phase. It's just getting to that is going to be the.
It should even be faster than almost anything with all the stat EXP and
Yeah.
badge boost stuff.
Alright, we're starting to get to the full amount of items left. Still just a few more left. Yeah, that is a little bit of a glitch. That is still that cutscene still plays, but
Oh
That's
yeah. At least you're not standing in void.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really starting to get down here with these surf checks. I've got like 1 or 2 left, so and I've even been doing the fights. Still really well hidden badge, I have to say. Oh, I need to go Dark Cave. Alright, well. Alright, so looks like there's some other items I totally forgot about that I'm just getting back to now. Forgot about the Dark Cave. So yeah, we still had that was the last of the Rock Smash checks. Or we have one more Rock Smash item, one for Rock Smash item, but I just skipped one of the rocks that I need to do. So so hopefully this should be the last rock that generates encounters. I was at
Yeah,
Smoke
we
Ball
gonna
earlier when I was still doing that stuff.
Y'all mind if I sneak in a quick donation?
Of course, go ahead.
Alright, so we've got $51 from Butter Knives saying name the black belt or any white mage if incentive is met in Final Fantasy I Randomizer Ice 3. And that brings us up to $1,710 out of the $2,000 that is our stretch goal. We are pushing to try to meet that stretch goal by midnight Eastern tonight, which is about, if my brain's working correctly, a little over 3 hours away. So we've got time, I think, and I think we can meet that goal. So keep on going, y'all.
Thank you very much. Oh my gosh. Thanks to everyone for doing this.
Yeah, you've been great with the donations.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you guys have seen on my map that needs to be done? think. Is this the first?
25 Zephyr badge item. Have you done that?
Zephyr badge item?
On 29. 29.
Yes.
Okay. Can't think of anything else really.
Okay, so that's the last surf one. We're... Oh boy. So now I have to... Sometimes it's going back to these last checks that just can really dunk on you. It's like, okay, what's left of these checks? Oh my gosh. This has been... I still have... So I just have 2 gym leader... I have 3 gym leaders left. I have... These 2 checks here that I isolated.
Yeah. This is pretty much gonna be a hundo.
I think this is a hundo seed. That's always worst case scenario. This is why I give a 3.5 hour estimate, because things like this happen.
Yeah, like this could have been over an hour ago if the seed was nice.
We gotta keep the marathon going, right?
I know, right?
Oh, that was the last piece of candy, but I'm not picking it up. Alright.
Yeah, so basically we have Janine's gym, Erika's gym, and what else? Brock's gym left at this point.
And then we have the one whirlpool item that I couldn't get.
Yeah. So both Janine and Erika are 2 items. And then there's the 1 item things. Doesn't really matter at this point what you do. But...
Probably should have forced this one early on, because I had the 60 for this, but I didn't force it. Use a better move on it.
This is why you teach Surf, by the way. All these rock types have so much less special defense than they have defense that even with not great special attackers, Surf is just a move.
Yeah. It's really good. It also completes the coverage, so when you have normal normal water coverage is perfectly neutral coverage that hits everything, at least every Pokemon in the game in this game for at least neutral damage, so you can be sure that you're at least doing some damage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's still the cut guys item I need to get too. Oh, splendid.
Oh, you never did that?
Well, it was in...
Oh.
I got the Ilex. I got him in the forest, but I didn't ever go back.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it's charcoal thing.
Boy, because we're starting to get down to these.
Yeah, basically there's 2 fights in Brock's gym. There's 1 fight. No, there's
There's
2
fights
fights
in
in
Brock's
Brock's gym and like 4 fights in here.
Yeah, so there's the 3 trainers and then Erika. And then I have to figure out a way to Route 27. Oh, Lavender Town. Okay. Is there a good way for Lavender? Okay, so this is the last way through it. Then from there, I've got my way through to all the different ways then. So I could, for example, just make my way to Lavender, and then from Lavender I'll be able to get the last Whirlpool item that's eluding me, and then the last Cut Guys item. That's why we still recommend doing all sorts of them, and it's amazing just how many different items are out there. So I just got outplayed by the AI, but I guess I'm such a high level it doesn't even matter. This is the second time it's switched on me. It's really been kind of weird.
Please accept your fate.
Yes, please.
Nice right side, Eric.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to get tired.
Hey, I'll let you talk about tired when it's 4 a.m. for you.
I know. I'm just look. I go to sleep early.
Yeah, you bring the two Europeans like to to commentate on you.
I know, right?
I know it's my fault. We'll be done soon. Oh yeah, so the unknowns are a little bit different because they're always formed based off the stats on it. It's thank goodness we're finally at the end here. We had only 2 checks left, so that's always good to find.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
That's the thunder.
There we go, and there we go. That is go mode, ladies and gentlemen. So all we got to do is make our way back to Oak, show that we've gathered the world, as well as the 16 badges, and then we can go fight Red.
Mm-hmm. If you don't actually remember to talk to Oak, Red just doesn't appear in his room.
Yeah. So we changed it. So normally you have to defeat E4 before you have to defeat E4 as well, but we changed that as well a long time ago. So now it's just talking to Oak. But yeah. Actually, the fun thing is that if you defeat Blue, and then you defeat the E4 again, I believe he shows back up again, is what I've heard, but I don't entirely know. Could be just babbling things out now.
No clue.
Alright, so let's just give me the last items and then get the leftovers on. Definitely get myself the sleep move. Or is that? And if only we could have run a special Pokemon. These are so good moves. It was.
Yeah, senior. All there.
I think this should be okay. I didn't delete Surf, but I'm okay because I can't do it.
No.
I'm sure with. I don't have any. I'm sure with enough setup, I'll be okay.
Yeah, just Aeroblast Crate.
Well, I mean, I'm just worried. The PP and everything will be fine. But yeah, the sleep, teaching sleep is just so important. Well, that's when I'm gonna find one of these that has, luckily outspeed, so I don't have to worry about that.
Alright, final fight, ladies and gentlemen. Here is Red.
Yeah, so luckily
these are all gonna be level 100.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a little bit anticlimactic, as I probably am destroying whatever's there.
Most likely. Earthquake.
Ow.
Skarmory might be trouble.
Oops, I did one extra attack and ouch. Please go back to sleep and stay asleep. So the nice thing is also that if I don't one-hit KO, you know, you're just going. I'm tired. This wakes up. Luckily, you can bait him out, but
yeah, try attack
so +6 is enough. Yeah, sometimes you get stuck into these fights where it's just really hard, and you end up having PP stall or whatever. Having sleep move just really makes it feel. But after this kind of thing, I feel like it's a nice treat to have.
Yeah, it's always nice to have like a little bit of safety. Like having those sleep moves is like so handy.
Yeah, this is also much higher level than I normally have. I mean, I didn't use one candy, and I've been doing most of the fights with the level 60. So this is about the highest you generally get to.
It's like it got it like really early on, and yeah, it's just been flying the whole way. literally.
Faster than Crobat and Electro.
Because I get 1x speed.
Oh, you used one, okay.
Also stat experience, but yeah, 1x speed always for that kind of thing. And I'm done. GG. 60 danger
yeah,
points.
for our
Oof.
timer, it's when the screen fades to white.
Yep. Yeah, we just generally
Which
do
will
it. So.
be now.
Yeah, so I have in my own time I have
Hey.
3:20:26.
Yo,
is pretty good.
solid run.
All the time.
Only pitch
Generally,
it
I
up
get
to.
under
It's
3
a pitch
hours,
yeah.
but for doing a 100 seed though, his is or
Turns
near
out
a 100
14
seed. This is
speed.
pretty good. The nice thing is because I did E4, I'm able to kind of speed through the credits, but that's all good. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Yeah, GG's no, but that was a good run.
GG.
But yeah, Karen, that is all from us. But yeah, shout out to the Crystal Rando community. If you want to go onto it, you easily, if you just Google Crystal Cinco Bingo Discord. If you ever wanted to get into one of these, all the resources and guides and anybody who's there to kind of help out, like, be more than willing to help. But yeah, I'll leave you, Snowman, if you want to close out.
Alright, thank you very much. Here, I'm Snowbear22 and joined with Urga and Trickums. Definitely give us all a follow. And thank you everyone for the Final Fantasy Randomizer for doing these. So thank you so much again for hosting us. This has been an amazing run, and hope to see you next year maybe. Or the next event.
Yeah, take care, everybody.
Bye.